Welcome to the Channel Shares Podcast. We hope to try and serve you the best, most in-depth, and critically thought-out reviews possible. We hope you enjoy our service. I'm fucking around with you. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Channel Shares Podcast. I very much suck at doing the whole formality thing. That's just not my style. I am your boy, Jay. And as always, joining me are my two friends, Brian and Tony. And Brian, today, is taking a seat in the captain's chair because this is a show that I am not entirely familiar with. Neither is Tony. But Brian has seen all 3 seasons. We teased it last time, I believe. We will be talking about the White Lotus, Season 3. Again, this is one Brian has talked about previously on Screen Time and stuff. So, like, you know, he has the most experience with, so I felt like, you know what, since he has seen all 3 of them, he should probably lead this one instead of me. So, we'll go ahead and pass it over to you, Brian, but of course we're going to first pass it over to you to talk about the news, as per usual. Take it away.
Alright, so, unfortunately we do have an in memoriam. Sometimes we like to, also focus this to talk about people who are, like, lesser known in the industry and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, First of all, because it comes in 3s yet again.
Oh, dang.
No one, like, name recognizable, but you'll know their work. Well, one of the names you, in particular, Jay, might know. But, first of all, we have, David Likengoffer. Heck of a name. But, he's an animator, and, he's one of the guys that was known for that, like, time where we got, like, Robotech, Gen 1 Transformers.
Oh, Robotech, Gen Cross, yep. Oh, nice.
G.I. Joe.
Yep.
Like, he was one of those animators.
Oh, cool.
And definitely back then, even more so than now, animators were like unsung heroes of the entertainment industry.
Mm-hmm. Also, fun fact, a lot of those 80s cartoons back in the day were actually early works of one Toei Animation.
Yep.
Including Transformers, Baby Looney Tunes, of all things, and several others.
Alright.
Or not Baby Looney Tunes, but Muppet Babies. Baby Looney Tunes happened in the 90s.
But he will be missed. Give him a shout out because he deserves all the cred.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Also, the name that you might recognize, Jay, Steve McMichael, aka Ming the Merciless.
Wait, what? Ming the Merciless died? Oh shit.
He was the defensive linebacker in the NFL, mostly for the Bears. The Bears. But then he also went on to professional wrestling.
Oh dang, I did not know Ming the Merciless died. Oh shit, rest in peace.
Yep. Mm-hmm. He was also a 2-time Pro Bowler.
Yeah, he was good in his day. I did not know he went. See, I knew he had went into wrestling briefly. I forgot. I honestly forgot about it until you brought up the Ming the Merciless thing, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, you're right. He did go into wrestling.
Yeah. But sadly enough, he passed away of ALS.
Oh dang.
Mm-hmm. At the age of 67.
Wow.
Of course, he's been memorialized by a lot of the greats and have paid tribute. Most notably was Ric Flair. Woo! Who referred to him as my best friend through it all.
You can't say the name Ric Flair without throwing in a woo.
Mm-hmm. Woo.
You're legitimately contractually obligated to do so.
It's a law of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then, unfortunately, we lost a Scream Queen.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Lar Park Lincoln, aka Tina Shepard from Friday the 13th, Part 8,
no!
New Blood.
Oh no, not her.
Yeah.
Oh man.
She lost a years-long battle with breast cancer.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, she also was also had a leading role in the soap opera Knox Landing.
Never heard of it.
Knox Landing. Yeah, she also even reprised her role as Tina in a fan film.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so props to her. And she was also in Freddy's Nightmares? Huh.
Yeah, I mean,
interesting.
Quite a few horror actors take on different roles in different franchises. I mean, Tony Todd.
Yeah, no, he was the king of that. He was the king of that shit. Tony Todd was everywhere.
And
Todd? leading man of the Candyman franchise until the most recent remake.
The Jordan Peele
He was
one, yeah.
He was also the coroner and mortician in the Final Destination franchise. He was
Iconic.
he was he played a character in Hatchet, which was just an homage to slasher types like Jason and
Mike
Michael.
Myers, yeah.
Yeah.
Most people today know him for obviously being the voice of Venom.
Yeah.
And
Or if you want to get to a deeper cut, also the voice of was it Zoom? Yeah, it was Zoom. I was gonna say Savitar, but I don't think it was Savitar. It was Zoom.
Yeah, it was Zoom. Savitar was wasn't that Jigsaw?
Yeah, it was Jigsaw. I knew it was another horror. I knew it was another iconic horror.
But yeah, Tony Todd actually is so prevalent in the horror that he's going to be in one this year.
Oh, nice.
Posthumously.
In the most recent,
Bloodlines.
the newest Final Destination film.
Oh, that makes sense.
Mhm.
I mean, that's a big part of his legacy.
Where I saw a clip where it seems to indicate that we might actually get some history on his character.
Ooh, cool.
But anyway, back to this RIP to Lar Lincoln and the other two.
For sure.
Y'all will be missed. And actually, it's funny that we mentioned Tony Todd because one of his things is what was it? Something in Hell? Didn't he do a Hell movie?
Probably. I mean, every horror actor's done at least one. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Well, anyway, we are heading to Hell for the news.
Well, I was already going there anyways. It's a nice stop.
We have an update on the Hellverse.
Oh, yay.
Not only
I need to
was it just
catch up on. We have not watched Hell of a Boss in a long ass time. We gotta.
yeah. I still need to watch the last 2 episodes, I think.
I haven't seen it since fucking that Halloween episode. I haven't even watched it since that Halloween episode.
Oh yeah. But not only did they announce that another short is coming in June, but the big announcement is Hell of a Boss is heading to Amazon.
Oh. I mean, makes sense.
What happens with this new deal is that Hell of a Boss is still gonna stay on YouTube, but the first 2 seasons are going to be added to Prime, and then when the new season comes out, season 3, it'll still be on YouTube, but it will be a delayed release. It'll hit Prime first, and then a month later it'll be on YouTube.
Oh, okay. At least people can still watch it for free. I mean, I say for free when not like 90% of us have Amazon because Overlord Bezos has entered all of our homes in some way or another.
Yep. But this also means that more production value.
Yeah. I mean, we saw the big change between like the original Has-Been pilot versus the Prime pilot.
Yep. Also, this means more synergy, and they did tease that there is going to be a crossover, at least one,
and probably a bigger cast budget too.
Yep. Although it was also announced recently, as not part of this announcement, but just in general, that B will be returning, but not voiced by Kesha.
Aww. Is it because they don't want to deal with the same kind of label issues again?
No, I think it's just they don't want to afford Kesha.
You know what? That's fair. She's probably expensive. Same reason Steven Universe didn't really feature Nicki Minaj all that much, except for like twice.
And also probably why Norman Reedus got recasted.
Yeah, fair.
Because for those that don't know, he was the original voice of Stryker.
The cowboy demon, if you guys are unfamiliar and don't know the names.
Yeah, but yeah, so what that also says to me though is that the Lords of Hell are gonna play a bigger role in the future seasons, which is very interesting to see.
I mean, it would have to because with why am I forgetting Solus? I was like, why am I forgetting Bird Boy's name? With Solus being a member of the Guacia family, like the more hopefully Blitz's and Solus's relationship actually repairs itself and progresses, the more that they'd have to be dealing more directly with the Hell hierarchy.
Oh yeah, indeed.
And I mean,
because
Blitz has already repaired his friendship with Fizz, who is in a loving relationship with Asmodeus. So.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so that's gonna be cool to see. Also, if y'all want to, they did do a video announcing this where it wasn't Vivcy, it was actually Charlie and Blitz.
Oh, nice.
And you got a taste of what their back and forth will be like.
Interesting.
And it's very interesting. Because, you know, sweet cinnamon roll, and then there's Blitz.
I mean, he already deals with one of those with Moxie, so.
Yep, and we know how well that goes.
But he doesn't. He probably doesn't want to fuck Charlie. Oh, he might. I don't know. Well, Charlie's gay, so that probably wouldn't happen.
And he also refuses to call her by her real name, because, you know, that's a Blitz thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the reason why I didn't include it in trailer time and instead decided to talk about it in here is it's like 4 minutes long.
Yeah, that is a chonker.
And also, just as a rule, we never really said it on the pod, but when it comes to trailers for Trailer Talk, usually try to go for
like 2 minutes tops, maybe 2.5.
Yeah, and nothing below a minute.
Cause like it's kind of like when I used to do reaction streams. Like, because we're doing 6 trailers, we don't want to do anything super long.
Yeah,
but
yeah, so that's why. But it was cool to see. Oh, also tying it back to the short, a clip was shown of it at the convention, and the plot for the clip is it's going to be a Blitz and his daughter.
Oh, Blitz and Luna, nice.
Yeah, they're going to the surface to a not Chuck E. Cheese.
That means we get more. That means we get more human Luna. Let's go. Yeah, sorry furries. We got this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but anyway, that's the news.
All right, cool.
Very.
All right, so now we're gonna go from the news jumping into our next segment of the podcast, which is of course Screen Time. Screen Time is the segment of the podcast where the guys and I all talk about various pieces of media we've consumed in between podcast episodes that can range from anything between TV shows we don't have time to cover, movies we don't have time to cover or likely wouldn't cover on the show, video games, comics, manga, anime, different things like that. So I'll go ahead and start. I actually checked out another anime that came out a couple seasons ago called Futo PD or Futo PI, which is an anime that's actually set in the Kamen Rider universe, and basically it's like this detective trying to figure out all these like weird supernatural occurrences. It's, you know, it takes place in the Kamen Rider universe. I've never watched any Kamen Rider type shit, so like I went in as like a complete noob, and I was like, you know, I think Tony would like this. I told Tony about it. Tony was like, oh yeah, I heard about this. I haven't checked it out yet. But yeah, if you are a Kamen Rider fan, you'll definitely get more enjoyment out of it than I did. Not to say I didn't enjoy it. I thought it was really cool. But like, you'll actually be able to nerd out and be like, oh, that's from that thing.
Yeah, to help give everybody context, Kamen Rider Double, which is where Futo PI is based on, because Futo is the city that Kamen Rider Double is also known as the Windy City.
Right, that's right. I actually watched some of them.
Yeah, so Double is about a super genius and a hard-boiled detective combining their powers to become Kamen Rider Double, because the Double driver and the Gaia memories of Cyclone and Joker give these two individuals the power to basically combine into one person.
So like Firestorm.
I'll have Firestorm.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about it is that Philip, who is the genius of the two, every time he helps Henshin in Double, he faints, except when he uses a specific power-up designated to him, where his partner in crime fighting, he faints instead.
But yeah, the animation is really cool. The action's pretty dope. Like I said, Kamen Rider fans, you'll get a lot more out of it, but like regular ass anime fans like me, you'll still dig it. It was pretty cool. I've only seen about half of it. There are 12 episodes. I watched like 6, like on my lunch break, like all throughout the week at work. But it was cool. Something else I want to quickly like touch on. It's not really like media or anything, but I did see a video recently, and I want to use this opportunity to give this creator a shout out because you know, they're a creator that I really like, and I even though we have a smaller platform, I want to kind of like, you know, put this out there that, you know, show solidarity and support. there is a Yugi tuber out there by the name of Simo, who is one of my personal favorite Yugi tubers. He's a really cool dude. Seems like a really nice guy. He actually announced recently that he is currently battling stage 4 colon cancer. And you know, I actually am currently, well, I'm not dealing with it, but my uncle is also currently facing late stage colon cancer as well. So like, you know, I just wanted to show support for Simo. I've always thought he was really cool. I've used a lot of his deck profiles as templates for constructing decks and stuff, and it's definitely helped me out. Just overall seems like a really good guy. Like, I mean, the YugiTube community seems pretty chill overall to begin with, but I've always liked him. He seems cool, and I just, you know, want to wish him the best and keep fighting the good fight, man. Rooting for you.
Oh yeah, I totally get it. I am related to somebody who had to fight it.
I believe colon cancer is what got Chadwick Boseman, or it might have been pancreatic cancer. It's one of those two. But yeah, so just wanted to give that shout out. He might never hear this, but that doesn't matter to me. I just want to, you know, put that into the universe.
I totally get it, dude.
But what else do I want to talk about? Played a little bit more Marvel Rivals, and I even got to play with Tony a little bit, which we haven't played in a while. And I got to show Tony that his boy Reed got buffed like crazy because Tony was going nuts, like.
Wow.
Yeah. But Tony was going crazy. He got like we only did one session and he got like what 3-4 MVPs.
Yeah, just about. And also one of the things that kind of like hampered the fun for both of us is like Jay's controller just being unresponsive.
My controller was being an asshole. So like, long story short, like my PS4 controller broke. It's not broken. It's just like the stick is stuck. So like, you know, when you press the R3 button, it doesn't register, and that's kind of important because L3 R3 is your ultimate button in Marvel Rivals. So I kind of needed that shit. So I bought a cheaper controller off of Amazon for like $40. Shit didn't work. And my brother was like, "That's what you get for buying bootleg." So he's like, "Okay, I'll give you one of my PS5 controllers." He gave me one of his PS5 controllers. Cool. And then, like, I plug it into my USB splitter, which I used because my computer only has so many ports, and I used all the ports already. So I plug it into the USB splitter, and for some reason, it just kept disconnecting in the middle of matches. So it kept fucking us over. A long story short, I figured out that like plugging it directly into my computer, because I did have one port left, has fixed the solution. So now, next time we play, I can actually kick ass without having to worry about suddenly freezing in the middle of a fight against a fucking Namor. Fuck you, Namor.
Yeah.
I'm still angry about that. But yeah, Reed is nasty. I've even gotten to play some Reed a little bit. I was gonna tell Tony this. Like, I played a game a little bit before we started recording, and I went like 17-4, and I don't usually play DPS, so that shit was crazy.
That's nice.
Like,
as you told me, and as I experienced, the buffs they gave to Reed, fucking great. Thank you, Nettie.
Yeah, for real. And if you have a Sue that actually decides to do her job, unlike that one Sue that we had, what was her? She had a funny name too. It was like Florida Girl. It was like Florida Girl something. Yeah, no, she was a terrible Susan. She did not do her job. But terrible. Yeah, that's basically all I've been up to for real. So Ryan, what about you? Any media you want to highlight that you've consumed in between podcast episodes?
Well, first of all, update on watching some and listening to some things. Listen to more episodes of Kill Every Monsters, which is really cool because some of their one-shots that they do don't involve any combat at all because, or very light combat, because the quote-unquote monster isn't actually a monster. Like the Blink Dog, which is just the Fey Best Boy. It's basically a Fey dog, and it just is a dog that can teleport.
So Lockjaw.
Yeah.
Well, kind of, but the Blink Dog can only teleport itself.
So Team Lockjaw.
Nerf to Lockjaw.
Yeah, so, but still Best Boy. Also has an intelligence of 10, surprisingly.
Oh.
Nice.
So smart boy.
Yeah. Like, as smart as an average human.
Also, real
But,
quick, fun fact about Lockjaw. Lockjaw was not always a dog. Fucked up thing.
Yeah.
Fucked up thing about Lockjaw. Lockjaw is actually a dude that through Terrigenesis got turned into a dog. And the fucked up part is, like,
They treat him like a
they're
dog.
aware, like, Black Bolt, Medusa, and all them are aware of this, and yet they still feed this man like kibble and shit. And I'm like, he is a dude, you guys.
Damn. But also they sometimes do two-parters. One of them was for the Tarrasque, which if you know any D&D,
Oh.
the Tarrasque is basically D&D Godzilla.
Yep.
On like the big G in that name.
It's but I, honestly, I don't even know Tarrasque from D&D. I know Tarrasque from fucking biblical lore because of because of Saint Martha.
They also, because D&D does that a lot. Like the dragon turtle
Yep,
that originally came from Chinese mythology.
Mm-hmm.
D&D loves doing that.
But yeah, if anybody's curious, the Tarrasque in terms of like biblical lore is like a river or water dragon that Saint Martha supposedly punched into submission. She beat the shit. According to FGO spiced it up and had her like bully it with punches, which it's my preferred canon. My preferred canon, to be honest.
But
So-
D&D,
Hood Rat Saint
Like the
Martha
actual-
is my favorite Saint Martha.
the D&D Tarrasque though, it's kind of similar with the water dragon thing, but also it's a giant kaiju like Godzilla, where it's just focused on eating and destruction.
Yeah, no,
It-
Tarrasque is pretty huge in the Bible story too.
No. You don't.
It has
understand.
one of
It
the
is big, Jay. Like big,
Oh dang.
massive, like towers, everything.
yeah, it's larger than most dragons.
Oh dang.
Yeah, it's the kind of creature that a DM would use to really punish problematic players or just
Especially because it has not only does it have like all the typical defenses that you would expect from a monster, like advantage on saves against spells, a huge amount of hit points.
What's the challenge
lot of
rating?
AC.
What's the challenge rating on this motherfucker?
30.
Jesus Christ.
yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the highest ones, like one of the highest canon ones. But and also it has one of the most like OP defensive abilities of all time.
Yep.
If you hit it with a spell attack, the caster then has to roll a d6, and only if it lands on a 6 does it actually hit the Tarrasque and damage the Tarrasque. And I believe if you roll a 1 on that d6, it actually bounces off and hits the caster.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the Tarrasque of D&D takes the Godzilla comparison, sprinkles in a little bit of Destroya, and amplifies it to the degree where it's a Shin Godzilla level threat.
Oh damn. Shin Godzilla's fucking a nightmare.
Like for this one, usually they do like one PC versus the monster. Here they brought in two extra guests to do 3 PCs that were level 17, and still, spoiler alert, they lost.
Damn.
I mean, yeah.
And the whole entire point of their one shot was not to win. It was to try to stall Tarrasque, so a bunch of caster NPCs could, I think, banish it.
Because that's the only real thing you would have to do against that thing.
Yeah, because it even has a thing, Jay, where it specifically says that if you like hit it with a I think it's like power word kill or disintegrate, something that does a shitload of damage, and if it brings you to 0 would normally just kill you. Instead, it specifically says that for those spells, the Tarrasque gets to 0, and then I think regenerates after some time.
Jesus Christ. Any DM that puts their fucking party against it must hate them.
Oh yeah. Although I did hear a cool idea that somebody did for this monster, where it's like you start off your campaign as the villagers being attacked by a Tarrasque, and the whole entire campaign is you trying to build up enough power to come back and defeat the Tarrasque as like the BBEG.
Interesting.
But anyway, they also did smaller stuff. Like they did one episode about humans, just humans in general, but that was mostly their excuse to talk about how depleted the monster manual is for like NPCs, and D&D doesn't really like know how to stat unique NPCs. And also in an interesting twist, in that story, the PC was actually the antagonist.
Interesting.
So that was cool. Then also, speaking about fantasy, continuing to watch Free Run.
Nice. Have you met Stark?
You got to meet the boy Stark.
Yep, I've met Stark.
All right. Verdict, Stark. What you think? It's a
I
you
like
character,
him.
isn't it? It's totally a you coded character.
Yep, I totally feel like, and Tony's the only one that's gonna get this. But I do feel like that if I was to play just a straight fighter, I would aim for Orem, but end up with Stark.
Fair.
Because Orem is a campaign 3 character for Critical Role, and he is their moral compass, best boy. But anyway, so I'm really liking that. And then also, and then lastly, new episode of Game Changer came out. This one is, they called it the U Olympics. What they did was they had the contestants come out and do various things, like who can jump high the highest, who can the last one was eat the most parmesan,
I could win that.
and then who can crab walk the fastest and everything. And then at the end of it though, Sam pulled his trickery and the car alarm went off, and he's like, crap guys, I hate to say it, but we're gonna have to re-record the episode. So they meet up the next week, and he lets them know, no, that was part of my plan the whole time. You now have to compete with your old numbers and try to do better than your old numbers.
Oh, dang.
And on top of that, spoiler alert, halfway through the episode, he's like, so you know how you all pushed yourselves really hard to do better than do your very best because you were competing with yourself? Well, now you have to compete with that second number and redo everything all over again for a third time.
This is fucking.
And try to.
That's fucking Sisyphean.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What is
like
this?
they specifically this season talk about like how
Just keep pushing
how
that boulder up the damn hill, I guess.
yeah, and how Sam is has a dom tendency, a soft dom tendencies.
Oh.
I feel like that's like a contradiction. Soft dumb.
Or I forgot what term they used, but anyway, that was in the first episode. They talked about that. But in this one, they brought in for contestants Katie, Brennan, and Iffy, which are 2 of the most competitive people on Dropout, and then one of the most physically fit of the people on Dropout.
Oh, nice.
Which, by the way, I know we haven't watched anything from Dropout, but with Iffy in it, but Iffy is kind of your spirit animal, Jay.
Nice. I appreciate that. I'm always here to support people on my wavelength.
Yeah.
That's why I fuck with Johnny Storm, even though I can't play flyers.
Like at one point he did a couple like matchmaking type game, you know, from like the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And he brought in Iffy and his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And keep in mind they're in a poly relationship,
okay.
But still, he went through their phones and found these random numbers. It was the numbers of times that they did it during the pandemic and all. And sometimes it was more than days in the month.
Like the whole.
Oh.
Are we talking like that whole 3-year period?
It was from like a year from when they recorded it. Their most active time was during the writer's strike, I'll say.
Oh.
I mean,
Okay.
not to get TMI here, but the pandemic was definitely a pretty active time.
Well, there are a lot of pandemic babies out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a joke that went around that said that everybody throughout the pandemic, most people didn't survive the pandemic without getting a baby, a dog, or an air fryer.
I got 2 of those. It's your job to guess which 2, audience. I'll tell you. There's a dog and an air fryer. 2 dogs and an air fryer. Actually, 2 dogs and 2 air fryers.
Does a cat and air?
Yeah, no, it's a pet. It's the same category.
But anyway, so that was really fun to watch. It's game changers. It's also good for turning off your brain, especially when you need like breaks from like reality. Because I'm still getting used to being a working man again, and also watching hour-long TV shows for the podcast.
You're telling me.
Yeah, we'll get to
Oh
it.
yeah, I'm now feeling the pain.
We'll get to it.
But yeah, we will get to that. Trust me, because this is going to be an interesting discussion. Not just because I'm taking reins, but before we talk about that, Tony, what have you been watching?
Yeah, what do you want to highlight, Tony?
Well, I'm just gonna keep things as short as I can. I started watching a few YouTube videos, like really going into certain niche topics, and I saw a couple like recap videos of the previous seasons of White Lotus, and we'll get into it when it comes to the discussion. Reaffirms all feelings of the series itself, and it just irks me. But I will admit, I can see like aesthetic and camera work, great stuff there, but it's not the.
Yep.
We'll get into that.
Yeah, the one thing I really want to highlight is something that I came across recently, thanks to a YouTube video, is a game made by an independent studio that's a city-state builder.
Oh, nice. Oh, Tony, real quick. Don't mean to interrupt you, but I forgot that I meant to tell you this before. That one indie comic that you brought up on Screen Time a few episodes back, something beneath the trees where nobody sees. Yes. Apparently that author is coming out with like not a sequel, but a spin-off. Takes place in the same universe. It's starting up pretty soon.
It's a sequel.
Oh, it's a sequel. I didn't know if it was a sequel or a spin-off. I saw a short about it, and I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Rite of Spring. That's a sequel that takes place in the early 90s.
So this is when Homegirl was like in her younger years doing thing.
No. So here's the context with the overall setting of the story, because there's the prequel story Proladium that takes place in the 60s.
Oh, okay.
When Sam the bear was 20, like 21, and it's talking about her first kill in Germany.
Gotcha, okay.
Proladium is that. Rite of Spring is going to be her in the 90s, because Sam is in her 40s during the main story, like the first story.
Okay, gotcha.
And so this is going to be her in about her like late 50s, early 60s.
Interesting. So it's almost like a Maxine type shit.
Kind of, yeah. But another focal character is going to be the sister of one of Sam's murder victims in the first book.
Oh, cool.
Where this sister is going to do everything she can using the internet to figure out what happened to her brother.
And also, for more context, in case you missed the episode where Tony talked about it briefly, to give you guys like a quick plot, Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees is like takes place in a world of anthropomorphized animals, and our main character is Sam the bear, who is a serial killer that murders people like in like not in her hometown, but like you know, nearby towns, and she uses like tools, like hardware store type tools, and then after she commits the murders, she sells them in her hardware store.
No, that's not how it works.
That's not how it works?
To give you...
Okay,
no. So what Sam does is she dismembers her victims piece by piece. Puts the paint cans and buries them in the wood. Because for her, in her warped mind, it helps her center herself, gives her control. And the way that Proladium presented this is she wasn't able to actually eat because something was blocking her drive to do so. It was like she wasn't feeling like herself.
Interesting.
And as soon as she murders her first victim, she was able to eat like 2 plates of food.
Wow. But yeah, just thought I'd bring that up because I thought you might be interested if you didn't know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Jay. But back to my point. It's called Mimeropolis. It's currently in its early. It's an early access game on Steam, and it's only for $25.
That's not bad. So it's a city-state builder, so I'm guessing this takes place in ancient Greece.
Well, it does, but you also deal with the city-state in different stages in time.
Oh.
So you basically start out in antiquity, then you go into the Middle Ages, and then you just progress through history.
Interesting.
And this is an independent studio, by the way.
That's cool.
And the amount of work that these guys put into it for early access alone is impressive.
Oh yeah, I always have mad respect for like indie dev teams for shit like this.
Yeah,
especially like a Civ builder type game. Those are very extensive.
Yeah, and the way they actually get you to use resources and to get better buildings, like you also have political factions that allow you to build up and progress. And when you actually get to certain stages, because I've been able to play through into the Middle Ages, is interesting because I'm faced with a new challenge with a lot of the buildings in my previous settlement. They need to be repaired for whatever reason.
Normally I'd tell you link me that shit because I love Civ builders, but then the logical side of me is like, no, Jay, the second you pick up a Civ builder, you're just never going to sleep. Don't do it.
Yeah, and I've been using stuff like that to just kind of offset the thing we had to watch for the pod, because my God, my brain hurt, and not in the good hurt either.
And now Civ builders are an acquired taste. They're like it's a good loop, but I can also
I don't think I love this.
I can also understand why like some people like can't get into it, because there's a lot of like micromanagey, slow paced stuff, especially in the very beginning when you're first acquiring resources.
The point I'm getting at is that I love this stuff. I actually really enjoy this game. But the thing that is, it offsetted my frustrations with the show we'll be talking about later.
All right, well, I guess to speed things along so we can get to that discussion, are you good? Can we jump to the next segment?
Alrighty. One thing that I will just quickly mention, I also got another Paradox interactive game that was on sale today. It's Imperator Rome. Basically, you play in pseudo-antiquity with mostly Rome focused and all the areas around it. It's like after the fall of Alexander the Great.
Oh,
that sort of thing.
Interesting.
Nice.
And it's kind of more, from like a playlist that I saw, is more micromanaging than any other Paradox game that I've seen. And I'm like, okay.
That says a lot for Paradox, because Paradox is very micromanaging at times.
And given my experiences with a lot of them, absolutely.
Although, like, in more modern Paradox games, they've done a lot better of like streamlining more like auto features to.
Oh, absolutely.
And those are a godsend. Like, you know, back when we used to like regularly play CK, like the AGOD modded version. Let me tell you, if we didn't have some of those fucking autos like running in the background, I would have started tearing my hair out. Do you know how many people were just fucking and getting into trouble?
Let me tell you this, Jay. With the most recent update and DLC, Roads to Power, it's you actually have automated armies as a feature.
Automated armies? Holy shit! Do you know how much of a fucking godsend automated armies would have been when I had to deal with all these goddamn pirates?
Oh, let me tell you. I'm going to tell you this right now. The console version of CK3 already had the automatic army and raiders feature just in it.
Oh man, I could have taken over the stepstones with that shit. Nope, I'm not getting back into this, because if I get back in there, I'm not coming back. I'm not doing it.
But I'm just telling you from personal experience.
I know, this is just me talking to myself to be like, no, don't. Yeah. You deleted it.
And if you would have to drag my happy ass with you.
Yep. And then that just means, again, I'm not gonna sleep, and I kind of need to sleep because we're getting busier because it's getting closer and closer to summer. So anyway.
And also, last time you got consumed with a game, we had to cancel the podcast for a bit.
Which was this? Was this during the Persona phase, or was this during when I was like big on Tekken first came out?
Both.
Most of it was like Persona and a bit into Tekken.
Yeah. I know for sure it was definitely the Persona phase, because the Persona phase I was deep in there. Pause. But also unpause because I was really trying to focus on getting those social links.
But
Yeah,
also,
and,
it didn't help that Tekken and Street Fighter came out in such quick time.
Yeah. It's a great time to be a fucking fighting game for them. Which also, real quick, not an ad, and I didn't play it yet, but for fighting game fans out there that might be listening to this podcast, Fatal Fury City of Wolves is out. So, if you're more of a Terry Bogard guy, and, all those lovely folks from the Fatal Fury King of Fighters universe,
Nice.
check that shit out. It looks great, but not gonna buy it because, again, I love fighting games. If I start, I'm just gonna want to learn, and I'm just gonna be stuck, and I need sleep.
Yep, and you're just going to perpetually be in just crazy shenanigans.
That's the thing people don't tell you about ADHD is one of the big things about ADHD is also hyperfixation, and you'll just get like locked in, just locked the fuck in, and you're just like, wait, what time is it? It's 6 a.m. What the fuck? Is that the sun?
Which,
Huh?
by the way, shout out if you want to learn more about ADHD. There are some great creators out there like Katie Source.
Oh, I follow Katie on TikTok. Katie's great.
Yep.
But that is pretty much it.
All right, cool.
But I will say that when you have free time, Jay, I would recommend you Memoriopolis.
Honestly, $25 is a steal. I'm right, but again, I'm just afraid of my obsessive personality taking over, and I'm just like,
I know. I'm just bringing this to your attention because I know it's something you would enjoy.
yeah, no, I'll definitely put it on my Steam wish list, so it'll be there, reminding me that it's there.
And for just early access, it's great. And this independent studio is like a small group of dudes.
Which also, before we move on to the next segment, I swear to you, loyal audience, we've been talking about it for weeks, but we will eventually speaking of video games and hyperfixations, but we will drag our boy Brian here into the Marvel Rivals rabbit hole, mostly because I want somebody else to play healer so I can play other things.
And good God, like the games that Jay and I played recently,
let me tell you, we were going crazy. Normally I don't, I'm aware of my lack of skill in video games, but I guess putting all these hours in has paid off because, aside from the moments when my controller was fucking up, we were going nuts.
Nice.
We had some crazy games, and I'm telling you.
Although there's that one dude who was playing as Iron Man, he's saying the sky, and it made you and I mad.
Oh, he was a pussy. He just didn't want to come to the ground because he knew if he came to the ground, he would have instantly got either mind whammied or stretch punched.
And I'm guessing you guys didn't have an Iron Fist.
We didn't have an Iron Fist. We didn't have a counter Iron Man or a Frank. Nobody to counter the fucking flyers. Everybody was on the goddamn ground. But yeah, so we're gonna eventually bring this guy in, and we're gonna put him through a fucking anime training arc against bots, and then eventually, we'll have the real deal, and we'll finally have a Marvel Rivals trio. Not that we haven't already built a solid squad with our friends and friends of the show, Trash and Momo. Sup, guys, if you happen to be listening. I know Trash listens often, so hi, Trash.
Hi, Trash.
Hey, Trash.
But yeah, so we will be there, and we will keep you guys updated on Brian's Marvel Rivals journey. Just a quick question, Brian. Aside from we're gonna eventually make you play healer because healer's just the easiest role to learn first. What character do you think you'd want to try and main?
They are completely different, but just from what little I know, possibly Ben or Doreen.
Ben is really fun. He's a great tank, and Doreen's also really fun because you do not need to aim to be able to be good with Doreen. You can literally just throw your nut in random places. Just nut everywhere, and you'll eventually kill somebody.
Which,
Yep.
for people that don't know comics lore, Doreen is Squirrel Girl.
Yeah, Squirrel Girl, and she just like she's like a 15-year-old who just discovered porn. She just nuts everywhere, just gets it everywhere, and eventually somebody dies.
And also, she calls in her squirrel friends.
That shit is so busted now that it actually can track people. It's insane.
Yeah, it is crazy.
But yeah,
Nice.
we'll get there. We're gonna bring Brian in, and we're gonna kick ass and take names.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
All right.
But now Brian is going to fully take the reins because both of these segments will be his. And the first of which is, of course, Trailer Talk. For those of you who are new to the podcast, Trailer Talk is a segment of the podcast where our boy Brian here has gathered together six brand new trailers as of the recording of this podcast, which he has gathered together in a handy dandy playlist you can find linked down in the description below. So you can take a second, pause this here video, watch those trailers, and then once you unpause it, thanks to the magic of editing, we will have already reacted and watched all 6 of those trailers, and we will give you our rapid fire thoughts. But in that sweet little second in between hearing our voices once again, please enjoy this word from our non-existent sponsors. And we're back. Okay, yeah, we definitely got an interesting set of trailers here. So let's start off a little scary. They're bringing back a classic horror franchise once again, and this time we know what they did last summer. This one, I'm like, it's cool, but I'm not excited for it because this series has never been like on my list of like favorite slasher horror films, because I always felt like I Know What You Did Last Summer was We Have Scream at Home. You know what I mean?
I hear you. But I will say that Jay, the director, is the creator of Sweet Vicious.
Oh, nice. I've loved a lot of her shit, except for that one Gina Rodriguez movie. I was not a big fan of that one.
Did you ever see her film Do Revenge?
I don't remember. Maybe.
With Camila Mendez and Maya Hawke?
Yeah. No, wait. No. That's a different Camila Mendez movie. The Camila Mendez movie I remember seeing was the one where, like, her and her husband move into a house and just, like, haunted or some shit. Something happened like that.
That's not it. In this one, it's 2 teenage girls decide to
I remember this.
revenge.
I remember this being on a Trailer Talk, but I never watched it.
I did,
Nice.
and I really liked it.
Yeah, I mean that director is very talented. I might check.
So maybe the trailer was cut a little bit badly. I hate to say it, because from the trailer, it just seems like your normal generic slasher.
Yeah, and again, because I'm not as attached to this particular franchise as I am to like a Scream, even though, you know, obviously, you know, Scream fumbled their bag. I don't feel like I'm as inclined to like jump at it. Like, if I hear good things, I'll definitely go watch it. But like, this isn't like a day one watch for me.
Yeah, I will say that part of the cast is the blonde girl was in Glass Onion.
Oh, nice.
She was the influencer.
Oh.
So that's interesting. Also, anytime Freddie Prinze Jr. acts nowadays, check it out because it's so rare.
It's kind of odd to not see him with his wife. They're always they're always in stuff together, even in voice acting type.
I
shit.
mean, to be fair, she was in this franchise, but she's dead.
Yeah, that is true.
But anyway, so moving on to something else, still a little bit horror related. Predator Badlands.
Look, I said this when we talked about the animated shit last time, but I'm a big fan of Predator, and especially with like this whole kind of resurgence of Predator thanks to Prey, and this is done by that same director, so I'm hyped for it. And you know, Predator fans we've been eating good, man. I didn't talk about it in screen time, but Spider-Man vs. Predator, or Predator vs. Spider-Man, came out this week as of the recording of this podcast, and you know, I'm not going to spoil where it landed on my pile in terms of was it book of the week or not, but it was fucking awesome. Benjamin Percy is 2 for 3 with these Predator versus Marvel characters series. Personally, I loved Predator versus Wolverine, and I did not like Predator versus Black Panther at all. which is sad because like I was like, this is a fucking home run opportunity, but did not like it. Was not a fan. Mostly because it was drawn by Greg Land, and I don't like Greg Land. But that's neither here nor there. Also, speaking of Predator shit, before we move on, and Predator comics, Marvel did just announce that they are going to be doing a Predator Kills in the Marvel Universe. And I want to see that shit.
Yep.
Oh, also, Tony,
Indeed.
I saw this in my comic shop, and I figured I should tell you because you might want to pick this up at some point. Dark Knights of Steel's hardcover just came out. You might want to grab that.
Oh,
It's good shit.
hell yeah.
But back to Badlands though.
Yeah.
This one is going to be interesting because for those that don't know, this is going to be a first in the Predator franchise. The Predator is the protagonist.
Yeah. Usually the Predator is the antagonist or like quote unquote villain, because if you've watched any of the other ones.
Yeah, the official premise is in the future on a remote planet, a young Predator, outcast from his clan, finds an unlikely ally in Thea and embarks on a treacherous journey in search of the ultimate adversary. And I was wrong. It is not Dakota Fanning. It is Ella Fanning.
The sisters look a lot alike, so understandable. Side note, like ultimate adversary, do they mean like is this the origin of the Predator that fights Wolverine? I would watch that. Yo, seriously though, imagine that for a second. A Predator versus Hugh Jackman, Wolverine.
Oh.
And imagine, let me just describe to you one of the coolest scenes I have ever seen in my entire life that was depicted in that comic book. The Predator fucking tames and befriends a killer whale, and he fucking has that whale attack Wolverine, and they battle while on top of said killer whale.
Wow.
Tell me that's not cool as fuck.
It is, but yeah, as the trailer confirmed, Elle Fanning is playing a Wayland Yutani android.
So like David and stuff, if you've seen, the Aliens or Prometheus,
Yeah.
any of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's
cool.
interesting.
I like that they're still keeping the connective tissue now that we're just kind of sticking with that the aliens and predators exist in the same universe.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like you said, Jay, this is done by Dan Trachtenberg. I blindly trust him.
So this might be a dumb question, but I just don't know. Is Dan Trachtenberg related to Michelle Trachtenberg, or just they have the same last name?
I think it's just they have the same last name.
Okay, no relation. Got it. Okay.
Dan Trachtenberg, even before he did Prey, he did 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Oh man, that one just showed you John Goodman still got it.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he also did the short films for Warframe and Portal No Escape.
Oh nice. I've never seen the Warframe one because I never played Warframe, but I have played Portal, so nice.
Yeah, that live action Portal short film that they did.
That's cool.
He directed that.
All right,
So, yeah.
so moving on to something fun. Not the Predator isn't fun. This fucking Idris Elba John Cena movie. I didn't see
Heads of State.
Heads of State. Yeah, one of them. Yeah, where Idris Elba is the prime minister and John Cena is like a Ronald Reagan-esque president, because it seems like he's like a action movie star type.
Yeah.
And they basically get into some shenanigans, and it looks dope as shit. They got fucking Sri Lanka Jonas in this bitch.
Oh, yeah.
As like the badass like bodyguard type, and they got our boy, who we actually, man, he's here back to back in back-to-back weeks on Trailer Talks. If you remember, we reacted to a trailer last week of him in a buddy cop film with Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Our boy Jack Quaid, he is here as like the Q of this team. This looks fun as fuck. Like,
yeah. Also, not appearing in the trailer, I teased this, but there's actually a couple named people that are not in the trailer that are in the movie. Stephen Root.
oh shit.
Which, if you know that name, News Radio, Office Space, King of the Hill, great comedic actor, been in a lot of shit.
Yep.
Then Carla Guino, who's been in a lot of shit that we cover.
Wait,
Great actress.
is that Spy Kids' mom?
Yep.
Yeah.
She's part of the Flanagan family.
Yep.
Also in a very underrated movie, Gunpowder Milkshake.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Also, and last but certainly not least, we have Hattie Considine, which if that name doesn't sound familiar to you, King Viserys Targaryen.
Oh, Patty Constantine. Patty Constantine. Oh shit.
Yeah,
Nice. Good old Vizzy.
we love that guy.
Good old
we
King
love
Vizzy.
him.
The spelling threw me off of Constantine.
We stand King Viserys in this house.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But those are just cherries on top of the already awesome trailer.
And if you've been with us, every time we react to one of these, we're always kind of just lukewarm on these like streaming action films. But this actually looks fun, so we may actually add this to the schedule if we have time.
Yeah, especially a lot of them star the president for some reason.
Well, most I can tell you probably why. Probably because we want an escape from our reality where we have a better press.
Yep. But it's being directed by, and I'm definitely gonna get this name wrong, Ilya Naishuler, director of Nobody, Hardcore Henry, great director. So yeah. Also produced by Peter Safran.
Oh, nice. Oh. Real quick, I have no idea why this completely like exited my brain. I didn't bring this up during screen time. I saw Sinners, which is something we reacted to on a trailer talk.
Whoa, kind of buried the lead there.
Yeah. We reacted to it on trailer talk like several weeks ago. It came out this past weekend. It's fucking great. Man, it was really good. I couldn't even tell in the trailer. Like if you watch the episode and listen to me talk about when we were talking about the trailer, but like especially even in the movie, I could not tell that it was Michael B. Jordan playing himself, like playing against himself. It's fucking great. The action scenes are a little like over the top and cheesy, but I liked everything.
Nice.
I
know Haley Steinfeld
Haley
is in it.
Steinfeld was amazing, dude. Oh my god. I love her. I've always loved her. I've loved her since True Grit. But man, I want her in more shit.
By the way, fun fact: the same is true about the actress that is about the character. That her grandfather is half black.
Yeah, I did not know that Haley Steinfeld was I believe she's like a quarter black. Yeah, I did not know that. I was like, huh. Interesting. She talked about I guess because I had seen the movie, the Google overlords had added shit to my algorithm. I watched an interview where she talked about like this really helped her get in touch with her roots. And that's really cool.
Yeah.
Because if you guys don't know and you didn't see the trailer, it's like Sinners is basically like it's either like 1920s or 1930s kind of like gangster film almost, but with vampires. Spoilers, but not really spoilers. Again, this shit's in the trailer. Yeah, like I said, the only thing that I didn't like as much is like the effects were kind of cheesy and cheap, and it took away from some of the intensity of the film. But overall, very well done. If you like vampire shit, you'll like Sinners.
Nice.
I meant to talk about this in screen time, but I completely blanked about it for some reason. It's not even that the movie was forgettable. I feel like I forgot to talk about something, and I'm like, oh yeah, shit.
Going from vampires to androids, Murderbot.
Murderbot looks fun as fuck. Apple TV seems to be having some bangers. This one just looks like a very fun, like wacky sci-fi premise.
Yeah.
Murderbot kind of has the same kind of vibe of like Andor's HK unit from Rogue One, or if you remember HK-37 from for you classic Knights of the Old Republic fans. But yeah,
cool.
It looks fun. I want to check it out. I'm definitely gonna at least if we're not watching it, if we don't end up covering it on the pod, I'm definitely gonna at least talk about the first episode when they come out on the 16th on Screen Time.
Yeah, because it's got a stacked cast.
Oh yeah.
Our main guy is Alexander Skarsgård.
Yep.
But one of the scientists is David Dismelchin.
Yep. And we saw our boy Ravi in there.
Yeah, and also in Rise and Fall of Sanctuary Moon, an in-universe TV show. It's a John Chu, Clark Gregg,
Yep.
DeWanda Wise.
Yeah, that looks.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that looks fun. It just seems like a really interesting world and like a actual like kind of just silly, goofy sci-fi prose.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like I have at least some pretty dope action scenes, and like the effects on some of those alien creatures. I was impressed.
Yep. And also, it brings into something that I didn't think about. When facing giant monsters, robots can just go inside of the monster.
Pause.
In the bad way.
Oh, hey, you don't know you don't know what those monsters' fetishes are?
Yeah, you don't know that, Brian.
So their fetish is to be killed?
Hey, some monsters are into that. Maybe they have a resurrection mechanic where they can bring themselves back and they can only get off when they die. We don't know these monsters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't know that.
But going from like literal monsters to possibly metaphysical monsters, we have sirens.
Yeah, so this is just like this reminds me of the Lucy Lane plot in Superman and Lois.
Kinda, yeah.
Two sisters reuniting, and one of the sisters has gotten her bitch ass into a cult.
Mm-hmm.
Except, in the case of Millie Alcox, it doesn't look like her cult leader is going to lead to an alternate dimension fucking taking over and trying to merge with the main world. If you guys,
that was weird.
If you guys didn't watch Superman and Lois, you're completely missing the context, but it was awesome. Mm-hmm. Even though we never saw Lucy again after this, even after their father, I'm still upset.
Like,
even their father's funeral.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, I know. Like, yes, Jenna is. Like, I know Jenna's a very popular actress. But like, you can't just bring her back into the show, and then just forget she exists for a part where she should totally be here. That was like, for a comic book example, when they had Alfred's funeral and they just straight up forgot to, I don't know, invite his daughter.
Oh yeah, that's right. But yeah, possibly it could have been, depending on timing. She was having a baby.
See, that's understandable. I can get behind that.
Because this latest, like, season 7 of The Rookie, even though she is literally married to the main character, her character isn't in the, like, first 3-4 episodes because she was still on, like,
maternity leave. Gotcha.
Yeah. So if a big network show can't get her back,
the failing CW definitely could.
Yeah. But anyway, this show looks great. You guys don't know the lead, Megan Frey, but she was in The Bold Type, that CW show that we never watched, Jay.
Yep.
But 3 young women in, like, I think the fashion industry.
Yeah, I always confuse that for the Foster spinoff because the commercials look very similar. Good Trouble.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that.
Yeah, but and she was also in The Perfect Couple, the new Nicole Kidman, Liev Schreiber.
Oh yeah. I remember seeing trailers for that.
But she first made a big name for herself in White Lotus season 2. Her character is actually really good though. But anyway, before we get to White Lotus. Well, no, we really didn't talk about Siren. Siren.
Well, I mean, we talked about the plot, and I made the Superman Lois comparison. Millie Alcock.
Yeah, you're
right. She's the sister that's in the cult, and it looks all very like Stepford Wivesy, and they're also like, it seems like on an isolated island almost.
Maybe. And Julianne Moore is the head of the cult.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you want to talk about a great actress who can play creepy?
I mean, like, would I join a cult led by Julianne Moore? I'll put that as a maybe. Depends on the rules of the cult.
Yep. But also in the cult is her husband, played by Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. Earth's greatest hero, Kevin Bacon.
Which currently, as of right now, is fighting demons. I think we reacted to that trailer.
You lost me. I don't remember this one.
The Bondsman.
Oh yeah.
It's an Amazon show. It just recently came out. So the man's busy.
Yeah, he is.
And it's weird because his character seems like he knows about the cult, but he's not in the cult.
And he's kind of in denial about it being a cult. That's the vibe I got.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, without going too droning on, we're looking forward to it. It's on the maybe pile.
Yep.
Um,
Listen, summer's gonna be busy, man. Summer is blockbuster time. We gotta
But-
be.
But what is
Mhm.
definitely on the yes list, last but certainly not least,
Especially for us. Wednesday season 2,
Wednesday.
baby. You guys, if you've been following us, you know how much Brian and I loved the first season of Wednesday. Wednesday is phenomenal. It's so much fun. Jenna Ortega is a national fucking treasure. Love her.
Yep, and Emma McKay, I believe that's her name.
Yep. Who Brian
Great.
watched in that one show, and then Tony, you're familiar with her because she was in that holiday film we watched, Family Switch. She was the soccer playing daughter. Yeah, she's fucking
And
great.
that show was called
Mm-hmm.
A Good Girl's Guide to Murder.
Yep. Enid is my favorite. Must protect her at
Yes.
all costs. Love her.
Yes. And what's her face from Chilling Adventures? Oh wait, no, is she from Chilling Adventures? Anyway, the one that her mom is in a
Yeah,
Which-
yep.
continuing the trend.
Yep. I'm excited. Also, from the trailer, it looks like Muggsy is gonna be starting to go to the school. Or
Pugsley.
Pugsley. I said Muggsy. Yeah, Pugsley.
Yeah, which is going to be interesting. Also, we're getting more of her family in general.
Yeah, Uncle Fester was the shit in the first season.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just happy to see more Uncle Fester.
I wonder if we'll actually get to like see more of Lurch than just the cameo.
Yeah, I would also like to see like cousin. I don't remember. Did we see Cousin It in the first season? Was Cousin It in the first?
No, but we saw a portrait
Yeah.
of its ancestors.
Yeah, we saw it. I remember we saw its ancestors, but I don't think we saw Cousin It in the first season.
No. And also, I'm interested to see who Steve Buscemi's character is.
Yeah.
Because he was briefly shown in the trailer, and his design kind of reminds me of a non-problematic version of Chaplin.
I also want to know like who is going to be replacing the principal and shit.
That's Steve Buscemi.
That's Steve Buscemi is the one replacing the principal. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, but yeah, definitely excited. Tony's gonna have to play a little catch up, but I mean Tony's gonna have to play a little catch up on a lot of the stuff we'll be covering this summer. But yeah, luckily. This one is split into 2 parts. I think they said the first one is coming out in June, and then like the second part's coming out in August.
Maybe. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, really excited about that.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait to talk about that.
I loved Wednesday, dude. It's great.
Oh yeah, indeed.
Listen,
like they did that, like, funds.
if you were part of like the emo kid hot topic generation, Wednesday is your show, bro.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, all right. Let's get down to business to defeat the Hun.
Ooh.
All right, Brian. I will now exit the captain's
All right.
chair.
All right. So White Lotus. White Lotus is a very interesting show about opulence and the rich, and it's like not for the faint of heart, like even when it's at its best. And this season really like took some time to rev up its engines. This is the longest season so far with 8 episodes, and it feels like it, honestly.
You're fucking telling me.
Yeah, because as the boys can tell you, like as people who have not seen it, it really only picks up in episode 6, which if you take 6 episodes to pick up, geez. But anyway, so use that as a way to jump into just non-spoiler discussion here. Get your guys' thoughts first, since you guys have not seen it, and then I can get into the previous seasons afterwards and talk about it, because even though we are not spoiling season 3 yet, we are going to be spoiling 1 and 2 when it gets to my turn, because these guys have said that they don't really care, but they're curious.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we'll get into that.
Cool.
But before we do, just get quick baseline thoughts. And since we're switching things up with me in the captain's chair, let's switch it up some more, and let's start off with Tony first.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
nice curveball. Okay.
Oh my god. I have a different opinion to Jay. I wasn't like invested until like towards the tail end of episode 7 into episode 8.
No, that's fair. That's
There.
And it annoys me that a show had to do this. This is why I follow the principle of the 3-episode rule.
Oh yeah, if you're familiar with our previous anime podcast, We
Yeah.
Warriors, that was our general rule of thumb. Is we played it by baseball rules with every new show that came out every season. We'd give it 3 episodes, and then like if we liked it, we would try it, and then we would, before the Peter Grill incident, we would also just go off the strength if somebody recommended, okay, you should try this one though. And then Tony recommended Peter Grill and ruined it for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But we also try to keep that with TV, but with this one, there was all the hype, which probably oversold it for these guys.
100,000.
And then also the wanting to keep a regular schedule with the podcast, and with our busy lives, it was kind of a little bit too late to reschedule something else.
And we couldn't, and I was legit, like, when we were, like, and I was on, like, episode 4, and I still didn't give a shit about it. I was like, alright, can I find a movie or something? I'm like, there's nothing on streaming that would be interesting to talk about. Everything that we could, I was like, I'm going to see Sinners, but I'm not going to force these guys to go out to the movie theaters just to watch a movie, just so we don't have to talk about it. But yeah, go ahead, back to you, Tony.
But I just think that I don't know. Part of me is feeling like I wanted to give something a try, and I wanted to give it like a good, honest try.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not for me. And I don't want to continue watching a show where I just feel nothing but anger and frustration with these incompetent and horrible people. I just can't. I can't.
I'm with you,
All it does is just makes me mad. And I don't want to watch a show just for me to be pissed off. That's not fun, you know?
Yeah, if I wanted to watch something that, would just leave me angry and frustrated all day, I'd just stick to watching the news.
Oh yeah. Angry, frustrated, starring a bunch of a-holes.
Yeah,
Like
but
the news.
Yeah, rich entitled assholes, exactly. Just watch the fucking news.
yeah, and it's not everything is beautifully shot. There are some characters that I do like, and we'll get to that. But I don't want to see a show where insufferable people essentially get what they want.
Mm-hmm.
And also just being okay, rich people gonna rich people, but I don't want to bitching him from sad white women that don't want to expand their horizons, just catty bitches.
Oh man, I have so much to say about that. I have so much to say about them. I cannot wait.
I deal with that in my personal life. I don't want to, and I also deal with it with a lot of older residents at my job. I don't want to deal with it in my entertainment.
Oh, I cannot wait to get to that section. That's going to be a lot of fun to talk about because I hate them so much.
And also, Brian, I know that you're just to give us horizons, but after seeing recap videos of the first 2 seasons, because I know what you're going to be getting into, I don't want to be near this this entire series with a 10-foot pole.
No, I understand that, and I get that. And honestly, if you guys remember, I wasn't the one who suggested this for the podcast.
Yeah, I did.
Jay did.
I did, and I'll hold the L for that one, but I will also say, like Brian mentioned, this was hyped up to high heaven by many people that I trusted. Like, outside of, like, internet critics and stuff, people in my actual life who watch a lot of TV and are like, oh, hey, Jay, you would like this. You watch this type of stuff all the time, which is true. I watch plenty of shows like this. So,
absolutely,
in theory, I would love this shit.
Yes.
Theories can be proven wrong.
Exactly. And it's not like we haven't talked about shows that are similar to this. Hell, we watched both seasons of House of the Dragon.
I was going to say, Hot D is full of a bunch of horrible people. Like, Mr. Loris fucking feet pick strong.
Yeah, but at least with a lot of those horrible people, some of them do get their comeuppance, some of them don't. Some of them die in like random weird circumstances, which actual historical figures has had that happen. But you can kind of have the separation because it's fantasy.
Yeah, so I want to piggyback, if you don't mind, Tony. I want to piggyback off of this with you, and so like, I watch plenty of shows like this, like we mentioned before, and just to take from HBO for example, one of my favorite shows in the last like 5 years that has come from HBO was Succession. Succession is a show where everybody is a rich, horrible, entitled white person. But guess what? It's really entertaining to watch them all come at each other's throats. And those chess games, those machinations, those fucking battles, it's interesting. None of this was interesting. Fuck this shit.
Mm-hmm.
All these people suck. And not in like a fun, like, oh, Joffrey sucked. I can't wait to see him get his comeuppance. None of these people got their comeuppance. The people that I actually liked were people that got their comeuppance.
Yeah. Unfortunately, which I will say, that's kind of a trend with the show.
Then fuck this show.
Yeah, and
the best character that don't deserve it get the comeuppance.
It's like innocent people it happens. And I'm going to reiterate this point. It's so close to reality, but I also don't want to deal with, when it comes to some of my escapism.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to see horrible people, but
that's definitely a thing. I agree with you 100%, Tony. Is that like this is entertainment, and I don't need I don't need this shit. Again, if I wanted to watch rich entitled assholes argue with each other over dumb bullshit, I would just watch the news.
Oh, yeah.
And also, real quick, this is a small thing, but this pissed me off very early on in the show. They have the nerve to start having political conversations in this show. I get this enough in the background of my normal life. Please, just leave it alone. We don't need to bring up this man.
And also, I don't want to hear the nonsense of catty, bitchy white women, because I've dealt with that for my entire fucking life.
Because that's bringing it back to me. That's one of the things about this show is, for the most part, you follow not great people, not great characters. In season 1, even the like quote unquote good characters, you kind of feel bad. Don't really get they get their comeuppance unjustly, or you just feel pissed at them. Like part of season 1 is because this show likes to split up into different groups, and in season 1 the groups were a family of 4 plus the daughter's best friend.
Was this the season that Sydney Sweeney was in?
Yep, she was the daughter.
It wasn't, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brian. Wasn't like that daughter and her friend's subplot is like getting high as fuck?
Yeah, that was part of it. But they lost their meds and their weed because it was stolen by the manager, the hotel manager, because he justly got too overwhelmed by everyone's shit. Especially the husband of a newlywed couple, where the wife was Alexandra Daddario, and her whole thing was that she met a guy, a good-looking guy, fell in love, and got married. And only after she got married did she realize, oh shit, he's insanely rich. And now, because he is insanely rich, there's this stigma on me to be a stay-at-home wife and to only set up charities and stuff like that, do busy work like that. But she was a journalist and wanted to be a journalist and wanted to do well. But she wasn't the best at it, but she was working at it. Well, she leaves him at one point in the show, like, not sure that this is what I want in life. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, at the end, she shows up and they reunite.
And, wasn't the hotel manager the guy who played Jack Duquesne in Hawkeye and Daredevil Born Again? Because that actor looked familiar.
I don't think he was the guy who played swords master, but I could be wrong.
Swordsman.
Swordsman.
But-
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
But
he looks like him. He looks like him.
He definitely does. I see what you mean.
before-
I googled it. I see what you mean.
But the funny thing is he was actually Frank in Last of Us.
Oh.
Okay, but that
But-
that guy strung out to high
Yeah.
hell, wasn't he?
He was a former his character was a former addict who got pushed by a rich douche and a couple other rich people pushing him, and then falls in his lap a bunch of pills and weed. So he falls off the wagon. But what ends up happening is this is the murder for season 1. Rich douche accidentally kills him
Oh man.
and suffers no consequences for it because rich,
Yep.
and he thought it was an intruder. So they wrote it off. But also, there were 2 other nice characters in this that got completely fucked over. One of them was the daughter. The daughter's best friend was Quinn. She is a person of color, unlike the rest of the family. So she more so sympathized with the locals and their plight. One of the workers in the hotel, actually his family owned the land that the corporation bought out to build the hotel. And like unjustly bullied them into allowing them to buy it.
Gotcha.
And she befriends him, and like they get romantically involved, and he's the nicest guy. He's just trying to do his best. She convinced him to steal from the rich family because they've got all this money. They can, if they lose a little bit of it, so what?
Yeah. makes
Well,
sense.
he gets caught,
Okay.
and he goes to jail.
Damn.
And then the last good character that gets a bad ending, actually we see in this show. We pick back up with her, Belinda.
Belinda.
Ah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That makes
Because
sense.
season 1 is the season with Belinda, where she runs into Jennifer Coolidge's character, who's this rich heiress, and they form this bond, this really good bond. But then Jennifer Coolidge's character meets a man and like puts him first, and because Jennifer Coolidge's character is one of those people that will like hyperfixate on one person, and when they move
yeah.
from one person to the next, they will drop the old person.
Gotcha.
And so by the end of it, and this is why I texted you that thing, Jay, in a personal chat when watching the finale, because season 1 ends with Jennifer Coolidge first saying that Belinda is so good, she wants to help her form her own company and like pay for it and do everything. Well, then when she leaves, she's like, well, no, I have to rethink some things. I'm sorry, but no, it's not going to work out. So, yeah. So you can see why I texted that to you with just a hint of like spoiler for season 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was season 2. Each season is like has a general theme beyond rich assholes in a resort. The stories have a theme usually, and the theme for season 1 was privilege, and the different like levels of privilege different people had, and it was interesting, but still, yeah. Season two was more about like desire and the different kinds of desire. In one of them, we followed 2 couples. One of which was the main chick in Sirens, and Theo James, which we know from the Time Traveler's Wife.
Yep.
He was the time
He
traveler.
was the time traveler.
Yep. Him and her were a couple. And then Aubrey Plaza was a couple with this Asian guy. And the husbands were like old school friends, but like quote unquote friends, where Theo James' character used to bully him back in the day, but they said that they were friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I mean, to be fair,
that-
I bully all my friends.
but like not in the fun way that you do, Jay.
I know. I'm just joking.
Because part of the reason why the Aubrey Plaza's husband decides to come on this whole trip is because show off that he actually did well for himself and that he's richer than the other and that he actually made it, like shove it in his face.
Gotcha.
And there's a whole subplot about him being like paranoid that Theo and Aubrey Plaza got together, which that's one of the things where they left it on a we don't know for sure. They didn't confirm it or deny it, but the couple seemed closer together. Then and I talked about it before in my screen time, but there was a 3-generation family of classic old actor F. Murray Abraham. If you don't know him, look him up. You've seen stuff that he's been in. Older Italian actor. And then Michael Imperioli. And then a guy that I don't recognize from anything. Their whole thing was about like cheating, and they came to Italy to like reconnect with their old Italian family. But it was actually pretty funny because they like do all this research to go and find this family. And there's this old Nona there with these 2 women working who are clearly like her daughters. And the minute that the Nona hears about them and hears, no, get the fuck out. And just like,
oh, that's hooked up.
well, shit, that's underwhelming. But I do like it for the fact that it wasn't like the picture perfect Hollywood ending for that. But where it gets really shitty is cheating is a big thing with these 3 characters. Like the whole entire reason why the grandson's mom isn't here is because Michael Imperioli cheated on her and she found out and refused to come on the trip. Well, as part of his thing, he hires 2 hookers on retainer basically while he's in Italy.
All right, you do you, I guess.
Well, then he starts to breaks it off with them when he realizes together, especially if I want to try to get my wife back.
Yeah,
and
no shit.
One of the hookers is like, okay, so you said no to me? Son, you're rich. And she goes after the son. And there's like a couple episodes where you think that they're actually falling in love and that it's actually going to be a good story and that he's going to take her out of this place. Like, he's
gonna Pretty Woman her.
Yeah. And, but she says that part of it is that she needs to give her a big sum of money to like buy her way out. He gives her the money. It was all a scam.
This is exactly what would have happened if a character had fallen for this story.
Yeah.
A similar story in season 3.
Well, in this one, the show actually pulled the rug out from under you. You thought that it was genuine. And this one also had a tragic manager story. Now, it didn't end in death, but it did end in heartbreak because the other hooker wanted to be a singer, so she wanted to sing at the White Lotus, and their singer she actually like tried to sleep with in order to get the role, but then he went to the hospital, so she was like, here's my chance. And so she seduced the female manager who was still in the closet and had never slept with anyone before. But she played her as well, so not great. Then you had the Jennifer Coolidge story, which this one threw a little extra thing in here because she had an assistant, and they met some locals there. One played by Capote from Capote versus the Swans.
Yep. From POD, yep.
And his nephew, played by dude from One Day, Dez.
Oh, nice.
And they first tell you that they're uncle and nephew until Jennifer Coolidge catches them in bed together.
Oh, so Dex was fucking Capote? Got you.
It was quote-unquote nephew. Like, they told the world that they were uncle-nephew, but really...
It was just an age gap relationship. Gotcha.
Well, like, basically, mission man, like, do the shit for me type guy. And so, what ends up happening is, Dez ends up taking the assistant away...
Every time you say Dez, I keep thinking of like Austin and Allie, but I'm like, you're thinking, you said One Day, so I know it's Dex.
Dex. Dex takes her away, and she finds out that it's clearly a distraction. While Capote takes Jennifer Coolidge out on the water, and we find out that he had an old American that he used to be in love with, and that he said that he used to do anything for. And we find out who the old American is. Jennifer Coolidge's husband, Greg.
Figure that.
Which we know from season 3.
Yep.
And so what happens is
And-
Jennifer Coolidge finds out about this and finds out that they're likely going to kill her, and there's a lot of suspenseful moment until she finds a gun. And so she's like, it leads to one of the funniest lines where she's like, "Oh my god, the gays are trying to kill me."
Yeah, it's a funny thing coming out of her mouth, but it's like way out of pocket context. I mean, technically,
Yeah.
he's right, but it's also like, yikes.
True.
Because there are like 5 Italian men on this yacht with her, and they all happen to be gay. But what she does is she takes the gun and she just starts blasting.
Oh, damn.
She kills every single person on that boat.
Oh,
And
shit.
you think, okay, she's safe, she's fine. Well, then she's stuck in the middle of a yacht with nowhere to go. Now there is a little raft, to like get to the shore,
Uh-huh.
but there's a little bit of a jump between the two.
Okay.
So after hyping herself up, she jumps, and when she does, her head whack on the other boat, and
Yeah,
so
she missed.
yep,
Oof.
and broke her neck.
Dang.
So
you
she survived this assassination attempt.
just to
for only for
just
her.
to accidentally kill herself.
Yep.
Yeah, because she didn't use proper trajectory to get herself onto the life raft.
You know, I would laugh, but to be fair, I've always sucked at platforming, so I get it.
Yeah. But the thing with season 2 is unlike the other seasons, this one does end on a slightly hopeful note. Because it does seem like Michael Imperioli's character did learn his lesson and is trying to like genuinely reconnect with his wife, and the son and the assistant who flirted with each other early on in the show reconnect, and it seems like they're both gonna try to make that work. So there's a happy ending for them. Yeah.
But with all of that context,
Yeah.
with at least on Belinda's end, it kind of makes the blood money thing worse.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
Now that I've heard this context, I'm like, yo.
Which this like Tony said, we're using this as a way to jump into a spoiler section. So we're going to be spoiling season 3 right now, guys. So if you haven't watched season 3 and you want to watch season 3, go watch it and then come back and tell us what you think in the comments.
Also, hit any like buttons that you see.
Yeah.
Maybe subscribe to us.
Hit that
if you
notifi-
love our voices and how animated we are, especially on Jay and I's end.
Yep. Also,
and,
don't forget to hit that notification bell as well, so you don't miss any brand
I
new
was about to say.
episodes of the podcast or Comic Chaser or anything else we decide to cook up on the channel.
Because I might have something cooking up in the background on my end, so watch out for that, folks.
No,
All right. But more will be revealed later, probably. But for now, thanks for watching. See you later. Now, Jay, you're hot.
Oh, I thought I muted.
Nope.
Well, what part? What part came through?
All of it.
I swear I double tapped my microphone. Whatever. Tony can cut that shit out.
All right. But yeah, spoiler alert. We're now getting into spoilers for season 3, and I do apologize if my presenting is a little stiffer than what you're usually used to, because I'm being the co-host and not the host. So I'm trying. But so typically here with the White Lotus is they split the story up into like groups of characters. So
Yeah, let's just talk about the groups. Let's talk about these fucking
let's
people.
talk about what we like to do here is typically when we split things up into characters or groups of characters, we like to start with the bad and then end with the good.
Everybody's bad.
So
Who cares?
Well,
Like, there are some good.
word.
I mean, no, there are characters we like. I guess we'll save the characters we like for the end, but most people suck.
Yeah.
And
well,
also,
let's talk about
before we do that,
Yeah.
though, don't sell yourself short, Brian. You're actually doing a lot better than a previous episode that you took the helm. So you've improved. Give yourself credit.
Thanks.
When was the last time Brian sat in the captain's chair?
When we did Vox Machina.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's right. But
You've improved,
anyway,
Brian.
Nice.
so thanks. let's start off with the worst of the worst, though.
All right.
Okay.
The trio that I nicknamed the Blonde Bitches.
I hate
No.
them.
Here's the better. It's an apt analogy, I should say. It's not a better analogy. It's an apt analogy. It like the three of us, but middle-aged and way more cat ears.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if we
Think about
if we were immature middle-aged white women, yeah, okay.
Yes, absolutely. That's what I'm getting at.
Because this trio,
dynamic.
So would I be the Jacqueline of this trio? Oh my God, am I the Jacqueline? Oh God.
Yes, you are the Jacqueline.
and I hate to say it, but I think I'm the Lori.
Yes, you are, man. I'm sorry, but you are. That leaves me with Kate. Oh God.
Hey, Kate is the most tolerable, so you got that.
I mean,
And,
yeah.
Kate's kind of the middleman, but the thing that annoys me about Kate is also just very passive, and
Absolutely.
and she's got that, and this is not a knock to any conservative folks out there. I have, most of my family is very conservative in terms of like religious views and shit. But like, I did not like her just constantly standing on this like antiquated bullshit, and using it as this like hollow moral grandstanding. That shit was that shit pissed me off.
Also, Kate was her character was kind of like trying to be the sober sister, but didn't have the backbone to say no.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. Because her gal pals roasted her ass by saying she has no will of her own. And I'm like,
and she kind of doesn't.
right, but
Yeah, she kind of doesn't.
Yeah.
They're not wrong, but yeah, damn, that was fucked up. And speaking of fucked up, Jacqueline is like the worst kind of person.
Uh-huh.
yes, absolutely.
I hate her so much. It's because I mean, Lori calls her out on it straight up, but like she goes out of her way and she tries to pretend to be this humble, down to earth, I'm here for my friends. And
But no,
this is just all about you and your own gratification, Jacqueline. And
Yeah.
Bitch, you're in your 40s. Yes, you are a famous actress.
And I will admit, she is fine as fuck. She is sexy as hell.
And she's married to
there's a reason.
And Lori's right about it. She just wants the gratification of men all around her. And bringing her gal pals to Thailand just because you want to.
And also, like, it was also a flex. It wasn't just to hang out with your friend. You just want to flex on your friends.
I think, because here's the thing is, Tony, you say that she wants the gratification of men. I think actually what she wants is the gratification of women being jealous.
Yeah, that's also
that's
fair.
part of it. That's part of the gratification part. That he wants to men because I'm famous, I'm hot as fuck,
and
I'm gonna make my friends.
And she also wants to prove that she's still #1 alpha bitch in this group, which is why, even though she pushes the sexy butler man Valentine onto Lori, she's like, all right, I did my job. Lori doesn't want to shoot her shot? Bet. I'm gonna get some dick.
And all
Also,
because
I'm pissed at my boyfriend.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some.
And like, bitch, you married a man 10 years younger than you.
Exactly.
What do you?
Dude,
What do you expect?
I never understood that. I've never understood the entire mindset of age gap relationships, because I was just thinking on it mentally, right? Just for example, I'm 31. Dating a 21-year-old feels gross.
Yeah,
not just because they're younger, but because what the fuck do we have to talk about?
Yeah, it's a life experience thing.
I know, which is weird. Which is weird though, because we'll talk about it later. But this show actually does a pretty good.
Age. There's a difference, right? Because I feel like once you get to a certain point and you have enough life experience, an age gap relationship doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, exactly. But
anyway, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Back to the catty bitches. even Lori, who is arguably the most sane of the three, is got her own issues.
Oh no, this woman.
She's not.
Holy shit.
She's not sane. She's out here. She's out here just risking it for the biscuit.
Oh, because of what? Because her. Alright, so the timeline of events as we have followed it, right? Lori just wants to hang out with her friends that she's known for years, since childhood, all that fun shit. Reconnect. Good times, right? But her catty bitchy friends, like the main bitch, old Jackie, just wanted her to like get dick because Lori's divorced. Maybe Lori didn't want to do that. She just wanted to be away from dick. And Lori made that. I think she made it abundantly clear that
she definitely made it abundantly clear. She was like, "No, I just wanted to be with my friends. I honestly, I just got out of this divorce. I don't need dick right now. I just want to hang out with my friends."
And also,
The only reason why
acting like a rebel, and that's time consuming. My job is time consuming. I don't need this shit right now.
Yeah, and
I
the
am
only reason why
overwhelmed.
she does end up like actually sleeping with the guy was
No,
to prove something to her friends.
Yep.
No, she slept with Alexei, that dumb motherfucker.
Because they did actually like somewhat connect, and like I don't think she,
Yeah.
and also it was just because, and I was actually in support of it for a bit because I was like, okay, you're doing this because you want to and you're having fun. This isn't because Jacqueline pushed you into it. You chose this, and that's cool. And I'm like, you do you, Lori. Good for you.
Until
I'm also glad. No. Hold on. I'm also glad Lori's not a dumbass, because I will shoot Lori some bail. Lori's not a dumbass.
Exactly.
yeah.
Abso-fucking-lutely. But then bro is just like, give me 10K. Oh, motherfucker. What?
Oh man. Okay. So this is some funny shit. So I was watching an episode last night, because like from episode 6 onward, I just stayed up most of the night to finish those episodes because I was hooked, and I was texting Tony my thoughts just as they were happening, as they were leaving my brain, and I literally texted to Tony. I was like, 10K? Your dick was probably not that good, bro. Relax.
Like, it seems like to me like that fucking like extortion plot from season 2 that you described, Brian.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, these
like
dudes be on some stupid shit.
less smart because in the season 2 plot, she got her friend who worked at the hotel to pretend to be a pimp, a menacing pimp, and like went through this whole rigmarole to help sell it, and like they had slept together for free like 5 times in the show at that point. So she had like laid it on thick before asking for it. Homeboy just like
he just
after doing it for the first time.
He just nutted once and was like, all right, give me 10K.
Yeah, bro was on stupid shit. And also, okay, just a word to the wise for people who travel, and it will kind of dovetail into another group that we'll talk about later on, or maybe right after, who knows. Brian's got the helm.
They're pretty high up there on the worst scale, so they're probably pretty close, if not too far off.
Oh, absolutely. But my point is, if you want to go to a different country, just look up the culture when you go to that country, you fucking idiots.
Yep.
And you got, like, I get it. I'd be upset you spaghetti too if I got drenched in water by like squirt guns and shit without my consent.
But that also looked fun as fuck. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, exactly.
I would have just bought a squirt gun off the street and been like, all right, you little bitches, you wanna play? Let's play.
Although I will admit that one of those kids seemed like a little demon.
Oh, that's the one I would have had a personal vendetta against to take down, because once you dethrone the leader, they'll just scatter.
Yeah, exactly.
Do that, but
have fun. Have fun.
I have nieces, and I have a niece and little cousins. I know how to assert dominance. I know how to assert dominance over children.
But you say that you want
not on some Diddy shit. We already know it's not on some Diddy shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, you tell this guy we want to have fun that is not on the like
Old
scheduled
people.
tourist
I'm
thing.
actually surprised they didn't go to like the red light district.
Yeah.
Because
I
like
mean,
that's
like,
where I
look.
thought it was going when they phrased it like that, and I was like, oh, we're not doing that.
No. What happened is that Valentine put these these catty bitches in their place and sent them to like old folk time,
Yep.
which was
Yeah.
funny as fuck.
I
Um,
love them trying to Karen these little Thai children. It was just like, stop
And-
it, we're adults. Stop. Like, bitch, they don't speak an English.
And then the convenience store owner who just didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Bro, that guy was
he-
like a real one.
He said that
Bro
is,
was a
he
fool.
said that is not my job.
Yeah.
He didn't even say it. You
I mean,
conceded.
no, but he gave that vibe. Just with a look, he gave the vibe.
But in the end, with these three, all of them are known actresses, and I like them as actresses. But
Listen, Michelle Monaghan,
The characters.
fine as fuck, but like,
yeah, and two of them have been in the MCU by the.
really?
Oh.
Yep. Lori was Proxima Midnight
Oh,
Oh.
in the first Avengers movie, because when it came to Endgame, she was like, "No, you didn't pay me shit. You didn't show me too much in the movie. I'm out of here."
understandable.
But and also Kate. Kate was the reporter in Iron Man 1.
Oh, the Tony fuck.
Oh,
Yeah. Which the funny thing is, the funniest shit about that is she is married in real life to Sam Rockwell. That's why he shows up in the show later.
Oh shit.
It's because they are a married couple.
That's funny.
So a woman that Tony slept with and his arch rival
Justin
are a
Harris.
couple.
Oh, that's funny.
But anyway,
All right.
let's move
so
on to
are we gonna talk about the family?
where the mom and dad are both also big name actors. One of them from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the nuclear family.
All right. Can I take this one? Let me take this one, Tony.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
Fuck this entire group, dog.
Absolutely. Fuck them.
Fuck this. All right. So I have so many problems with this entire family. So I'm gonna just go down the line. All right. So Tim Marino, my man Tim. What the?
Jason Isaac.
What the fuck is your problem, Tim? Bro, you're a rich man. You're successful. I get it. You built your whole persona on being rich, successful businessman guy. Cool. I understand. But also, dog, your business partner said, "Hey, bro, don't worry about it. You know, you'll just have to sit down for a few years in federal prison." Which I know you hear the word prison and you get scared, but dog, do you not pay attention? Federal prison for white collar crime is just like a day spa.
Yeah.
You're fine.
By the way, the guy who told him to do the embezzling, but that is Kehu Kwan.
Oh shit,
Short round.
man. What the fuck is his character name from Loki? But yeah, fucking Kehu Kwan. That's hilarious. But yeah, fuck. And then Tim, you have the nerve, the absolute gall and audacity when you realize, okay, shit, we're gonna lose all our money. Oh fuck, my family are a bunch of rich, spoiled, entitled bitches. I don't think they could survive without money. I should do them the mercy of killing them. First, he started fantasizing, alright, I'ma blast each one of them in the head. You know what? Maybe that's a step too far. Let's think about this, Tim. Let's go back to the drawing board. Let's go to round 2. Okay, what do we do? Our nice Australian, like, butler, like, main tour guide lady was like, hey, so, remember, don't eat the seeds of this fruit, because that shit is hella poisonous, and also, I have a bone to pick with this establishment.
Yeah.
Why the fuck do you have a tree that has a poisonous fucking fruit within reach of your guest?
Also, you said the nice Australian lady. She's also oblivious as fuck.
I'm saying,
Because somebody who's never had an interest in it before starts asking about this plant that you told
And you
is poisonous.
and you literally referred to it out loud to this man as the suicide tree. And
yet you're not gonna be.
you're not gonna ask a
suspicious?
follow-up question? Like, oh yeah, it's just a suicide tree. Like, ma'am, you should be fired.
Oh yeah.
All right, so next person on the line here. Next person on the line here. I don't know her name, but the wife. Fuck the wife.
Parker Posey is the actress.
Oh yeah, but yeah,
Victoria.
Victoria. I was like, I don't know what the character's name is. Victoria. What the fuck is your problem, lady? First of all, you're racist.
Yeah.
Like, not just like casual. I voted for Obama. I'm not racist. You are just outright blatant Southern racist. And I live in the South. I know what blatant Southern racism sounds like. And my goodness.
Which that accent really threw me at first.
Oh yeah, same. I didn't. When you said when you said Parker Posey's accent, I was like, that's not Parker Posey. And then I googled it. I was like, oh, it is Parker Posey. Holy shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, she kept referring to them as like, you're in Thailand. She said Taiwan, and then like she called them Chai, and she said like the best monastery. Bitch, what?
And she shows you the picture of the head monk, and he's this nicest looking dude, old man, and you're still gonna say
it's a cult. It's a cult. Like, fuck off. And
it's a sex cult.
Also, all right, now we're gonna talk about the person who I thought I would be okay with, but turns out you're actually kind of the worst of them all, low key.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I didn't think you would be, but you are. The daughter. The reason I hate you the most from this family group is you are the type of shallow, selfish, pretentious bitch that thinks that you're fighting and advocating for people when you're just trying to look good.
Piper.
I hate these type of people, and she embodies all of it, and I hate her. And then
and the thing that makes it even worse is that she's one of those people where you genuinely believe the mask until it is taken off.
And then you're just like, holy shit, you are a piece of work, lady. And then we have the brothers. Also, while we're talking about the siblings in general, what the fuck, bro? Why was there just a huge, like current of incest going on between all three of them?
Like Saxton at the very beginning in like the first episode, talking about how his sister is hot. How has she not gotten laid yet?
Yeah, she's too hot to not have had that much sex. 1, ew. 2, how the fuck do you know? 3, why the fuck do you care?
And 4, ew.
Yeah, 4, ew, all caps. And also...
No, 5, ew, with 17 exclamation points.
Yes, and all caps. Okay, now we're gonna talk. I'm gonna save Patrick Schwarzenegger for last, because surprisingly enough, he was bad, but he annoyed me the least because he was at least on Front Street about everything. I thought,
And also once
He was upfront about it.
and once the shoe dropped with him, he really like
he actually
self-actualize.
made an effort towards redemption, thanks to help from Chelsea.
Yeah.
So like, I will give Patrick Schwarzenegger a pass. He's cool.
But let's talk about Lachlan.
All
Which,
right,
by the way, quick side note, such the most rich, douchey names for the siblings.
Right?
Piper, Lachlan, and Saxton.
Yeah. No, that's real. That gives off real rich white people energy. But man,
Yeah.
Lachlan.
Okay, first off, bro, what is wrong with you? Like he would get, like, we're talking about the incest stuff that like just really grossed me out. He would like, his brother is sleeping naked, which is, cool. It's Thailand. It's fucking hot. I would probably have slept naked in Thailand. Because I actually, most of the time, when it's super hot, I usually sleep naked. Okay, that's perfectly understandable. But homie was like, giving his brother's ass the hungry eyes, bro. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't the only one who saw this, right? Can we all confirm this?
Yeah, and then when it finally happens, as opposed to his brother, who's like, "Holy shit, I can't believe that happened.
Yeah.
I have to throw up
Yeah.
because I can't
Yeah.
believe that
Yeah.
happened." He was just like, "Nah, you looked like you needed a hand."
Bro, oh my god, the mental gymnastics, dude. Oh my god, that made me sick. I had to legit pause the episode, walk away from my computer, get some food, come back, play a game of Marvel Rivals,
See,
and then come back to the episode.
here's the thing. For me, I knew two things going into this season beyond the cast. I got two things that were slightly spoiled for me. One,
Okay.
that Sam Rockwell was going to show up,
Uh-huh.
and two, that there was an incest scene. But see, here's the thing, and so it didn't hit me as much when it happened. But here's the thing, I didn't know when it was coming, because all three of them...
Yeah, exactly. You didn't know which one it was going to happen with. And like I said, the thing that didn't get me wasn't even just the incest itself, which obviously ill. But the thing that made me have to walk away was when he was Patrick Schwarzenegger, Saxon, was understandably like, oh, ew, what the fuck. Oh, what did she give us? Oh, fuck. Oh, we're never gonna talk about this again. Take this to the grave. And it's like, okay, understandable. Got it. Cool. You're being reasonable. Fucking Lachlan over here. No. You don't understand. You know, me and Chloe were, doing our thing. We were getting involved, and you just felt left out. So I felt like you needed a hand. I'm like, oh, what? Bro, you were just making an excuse because you wanted to touch your brother's dick. Ew.
And they made out.
And the thing is, if you watch the scene, and I didn't rewind, but this image is burned into my brain. He initiates it. Like,
Oh yeah.
Well,
The hand grab.
No. Yeah. Because he grabs his head and kind of pulls him in. Chelsea and Chloe are egging them on, but Lachlan is the one who leans in and makes the move, and I can shoot Saxon some bail because they're high as fuck, and Saxon doesn't know what he's doing, and Saxon even says straight up, "I never do drugs. Please don't take advantage of me." And look what happened.
And his brother, who was immediately, okay, what? Jump in the deep end, doesn't give a shit.
Kids, here's a little advice. If you're in a foreign country, do not just take random drugs from strangers that you meet in said foreign country.
Yep.
And don't get zooted up on random shit.
You don't know what's in there. There could have been fentanyl in that bitch. You could have died.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It also listen. I get it.
And also, I'm with Chelsea 100%. There is not a drug in the world that would have made me want to jerk off my brother.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
that's insane.
Indeed. And I get it why Saxton didn't immediately push away. He was zooting high.
Yeah.
So I can
I can shoot him some bail. Cause and also Saxon isn't into dudes. He never gave that vibe. He never gave
No.
and also his flirting and his douchey fuckboyness, it never felt like the overcompensating, I'm so straight, look at me, I'm straight, because I'm actually gay kind of thing.
No. And also
he was just genuinely a horny motherfucker.
Yeah,
and
his
then
game
when the whole cuck situation happened,
Yeah.
it was like, no, it's not for me.
And I that's when I was like, all right, you wanted you're cool in my book, Saxon, because look, I'm not here to judge people's kinks. That's not true. I judge people's kinks all the time. But if I was put in that situation, I don't know if I would be able to feel comfortable.
No. like I would be an object, man.
Yeah,
That's
because I don't like being I don't like being objectified. And yeah, yes, I'm a hypocrite. Double standards. I objectify women all the time. I share titties on Instagram. I do all that.
yeah.
But still, like I would not voluntarily subject myself to it.
But yeah, and then the whole thing about Lachlan, him almost dying. I saw that coming a mile away.
Same. I even texted Tony. I was like, this dumbass Tim forgets to clean the goddamn blender.
Yeah, dude.
Also, in the same vein, Lachlan is just gonna mix his protein powder and water, which look, with a day old margarita mix, which was thrown out because pina colada mix, which was thrown out from what he knows.
Yeah, like
Because the coconut milk was bad.
it's really weird because, like, you can tell homie has never made an actual like workout protein shake before. Cause you don't use water for that shit. You put milk
Nah.
or like coffee or something like thicker than just water.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Ugh.
Hell? I'm like, okay, so not to like take too much away from Lachlan because yeah, he's a little idiot, but also he got peer pressured by his brother, and that kind of like added to the behavior.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But his brother wasn't there.
Yeah.
No. But what I'm saying is that the overall peer pressure is what led
Yeah,
to the incident.
I get it because you know he was encouraged,
Yeah.
but also I think that peer pressure did not even really come from a bad place because like
Yeah.
before then he was just like, you know, this was after he started reading the books. He was like, hey man, look, you gotta learn to be your own man, and this was after Lachlan had that whole conversation about I'm a people pleaser. I just want to try to give everybody what they want, and you look like you wanted me to jerk you off. Oh my god, what?
The character, the sibling that we thought was the most problematic when it started.
Turned out to be the least
Yeah.
problematic in the end.
Like, especially when he has that, like, come to Jesus moment with his dad, where he's like, look, if something is wrong, tell me. I have no
acted-
hobbies.
Let me tell you something. Patrick Schwarzenegger acted his ass off in that
Oh, he
moment.
did. Absolutely.
And he was like,
All right, so to preface what I'm about to say is all the performances were great.
yeah.
It's just I hate the characters.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
The performances.
But yeah, that moment for Lachlan or Saxon was amazing. Where he was just like, look, I have no hobbies. I have no other interests. I put everything into this basket. Your basket, Dad. So.
And I don't mind that.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. But
You have
if
to let
something is
me
wrong
know.
with work, he's like, nah, everything's okay.
Which again reminds me of like our least favorite trope. Saxon is like, just talk to me, motherfucker.
And the dad's
Yeah,
like,
dude.
no.
'Cause Dad
And
is
also
up
the
in
dad, what the dad
could-
took from that conversation was not, I need to open up about my son,
I need to murder my son because my son has no
Yes.
prospects. Hello, you're the one who raised him to be like this. So
But, so we're not going on for too long. We're gonna move on to
Yeah.
probably like one of our, like, people that we liked, although knowing their history kind of, muddies it some. Belinda and Zion.
I love Belinda and Zion, but I feel like Parche got done dirty.
Yeah, which now you understand when I tell you about,
Yeah. Yeah.
season
yeah,
one.
Once you gave me the context, I was like, that's terrible. You literally just did to Parche what happened to you.
Yeah, that's why I texted you that. When
I
was-
understand it now after hearing your context. Yeah.
Because I was like, Belinda, don't do what I think you're gonna do.
Oh my
When
god.
she said, can't I just enjoy being rich for a bit?
Yep.
But
I love the dynamic between these two. Like they feel like a real mother and son. Zion was dope.
oh yeah, he was, and even from the beginning, where he was like hearing the gunshot, and he's like, oh shit, I gotta go out, and he just like runs into the fire.
Yep. Oh man. Yeah. So
And Belinda,
Hmm?
Belinda, I love, like, in season one, where we see Belinda, she's part of the staff, and she's part of like the hotel staff, and so she has to keep herself, like, you know, with that work mask on.
Yeah.
But in this season we get to see her like mask off and like her reaction to stuff like the lizard, like, what the fuck is that?
Yep. I love that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just the little conversations, like when they landed the money, like, yeah, we did that shit. I'm like, hell yeah, you did that shit. Let's go.
And then, look,
Hey, bro, Tony can tell you, I was yelling at my screen, take the money, Belinda. Just take the goddamn.
And then that twist where she leaves Zion and huffs off, and then he comes and follows her, and she's like, now you're gonna go back in there and you're gonna tell him. And he's like, oh shit, Ma.
All right, you playing hardball. Let's go. Yeah, that was dope. That was dope. I like that.
Yeah, I like
And
them.
also,
They were good.
her relationship with Parche was really sweet.
It was.
and it's sad they're not going to be together. And I'm like, damn.
Hey, at least in this case, when Jennifer Coolidge's character, because I forgot her name now, when she left Belinda, she was just like, no, it's never gonna happen. No.
She left the door
Here,
open
Bel-
at least, yeah.
Yeah, Belinda left the door open, which that's good.
Yeah.
But
Now I'm hearing that Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak song, "Leave the Door Open."
But there's not really much to talk about them. I will say that there was a weird thing that I found out
Oh.
that apparently one of the deleted scenes that got cut from the cutting room floor was a sex scene in the finale.
Okay.
Huh?
But the sex scene was between, get this, it was between Zion and Piper.
When did they even meet?
What?
They didn't.
What? Huh? Huh?
They just fucked because?
I don't know. Maybe they met and fucked because I don't.
Well, I'm like,
No,
I don't remember them even meeting each other.
They didn't.
Because, like, Piper was, like, mostly at the monastery most of her plot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
and I'm like, that just spun the little wheels in my noggin. And I'm like, what?
You know what just happened to me? You know that meme where like all those equations are being thrown at that one at the one guy? That was me. I was just like, huh?
Yeah.
or like the equations being overlaid about the confused blonde white lady.
Yeah, yep, same deal. Yeah. That was definitely me. That was definitely me in this moment. But yeah, that's
But,
fucking weird.
But
Alright.
typically we like to save our favorites for last, but I feel like in order to talk about one group, we need to talk about our favorites first for plot reasons.
Yeah, that's fair.
So let's talk about Rick and
I love best girl Chelsea.
yes. Which by the way, Jay, did Chelsea look familiar
She
to
looked
you?
really familiar.
Amy in Sex Education.
Oh shit! I was like, she looks really familiar, and this is gonna sound fucked up, but I was like, I recognize her because of the overbite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, she was in Sex Education as Amy, which the funny thing is that that's her name IRL too.
Oh, that's funny.
Hey,
But yeah, Chelsea was great. She seemed like a shallow, vapid girl at first, but she was just super genuine and sweet. And like, you know,
Yeah.
this is how you do a proper age gap romance. Like Rick
Yeah.
is like in his 50s, Chelsea is like in her 30s. Like
Yep.
there's a life experience difference, but it's not huge.
also,
And the thing of is, Rick himself is just a gruff, very damaged man,
yeah.
and she's trying to.
And she's very emotionally intelligent, so she's able to translate like grump. Like one of my favorite scenes that just made me go all out loud was when she was like, "I think we're gonna be together forever," and he goes, "That's the plan." Just nonchalantly says, "That's the plan," and she goes, and she look on her face, and I'm just like, "Oh, he said in his own way that he wanted to marry you. Oh, look at you."
Yeah, that he saw a
Yeah.
future with you. That it wasn't just like a young peace fling.
Yeah.
And like,
she was she was a ride or die, and she was also the voice of reason. She just kept telling him, "Don't do anything stupid, Rick.
why are you
And-
going? What are you about to do, Rick?
Like I'll let you handle your shit, but like think about this. Don't do nothing dumb." And also, like, not to sound racist, but I'm gonna sound racist for a couple seconds. I'll just give this warning. As soon as we saw the hotel manager like the husband. I was like, he looks like Rick. That's Rick's dad.
Yep. Which, funnily enough,
Yeah.
the fourth
It was-
MCU actor in this show.
Yep.
It was fucking sick.
Yep. It was fucking stick.
Yeah. That fucker. That absolute
Which
legend.
was hilarious because he was also wielding a cane in that in his last moments there.
This man can sing.
That's funny.
But yeah, because the way that he can, even from the fact that he was like, I never met my.
His Inigo Montoya ass backstory. As soon as he said his backstory, I was like, this dude's his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So let's move on to
But that ended like very tragically.
But I also love how it ended because it was very poetic. Because
It was very, like, Shakespearean.
They did end up being together, and also just that final shot of them together and like entangled in the pool, the lotus pool.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I see you, White Lotus. I see you. Okay.
Now, yeah, which was very well done and very poetic, and also the fact that we got to see Sam Rockwell's character, he was really cool, really good.
You want to talk about mental gymnastics? This guy, just come out of the closet, fam.
Yeah.
Like his whole
Like you think that
his whole
you're a teenage Asian girl
his whole
inside.
speech about like him liking femboys, right, and all that whole thing. I was just sitting here like, sir, it is 2025. It is okay that you're gay and you happen to be attracted to feminine-looking men. Totally cool. Sometimes it takes a real man to be best girl.
But and that whole speech. Which
man.
by the way,
Him
fun-
going off the rails with those hookers was hilarious, though.
oh yeah, and him trying to do like the gymnastics of like playing the role.
Yep. Oh man, that was really funny. He sold it pretty well though. Like he didn't like get caught in the lie.
No, he didn't. And then at the end, where he was clearly drunk at that point, and he's, wow, that was you.
Yep.
That was funny.
Man.
But also, fun fact for you, this season could have looked a lot different.
Oh.
Because there was a certain actor who auditioned for the show and was cast in it, but had to step away.
Okay.
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson would have totally played Sam Rockwell's character, or Rick. I could see him as either.
That's what people were thinking. It hasn't been confirmed who he was going to play, but people think that it was either one or two of them. Because definitely the whole casting of Frank, it was a last minute thing where Sam Rockwell was just in Thailand to visit his wife.
Yep.
And they were like, "Oh my God, you could read for this role."
But yeah.
And he did, and he was great.
Good
but,
shit. All right,
yeah.
So let's
let's
quickly
talk about
Greg/Gary and fucking why am I forgetting her name?
Oh, you're
now?
right.
Chloe.
You're right. So there's technically like 6 stories going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When usually
Burrow
it sticks to 4.
But
yeah.
Technically Gary is just an extension of Belinda's story because Belinda, rediscovers Greg/Gary and is like, oh shit, it's that guy, and he's like, oh shit, it's the lady from the Italian White Lotus.
Which I want to know. I do want to know. Without having the context of season 2,
I was able to figure it out.
Did you?
Yeah, I was able to figure it out.
I was like, but I want to know. Did you feel the murderous vibes?
100%. Are you kidding me? He looked like a straight up murderer.
Yeah.
He was very basically
When he had that
Terrifying.
when he had that conversation and he was like, things taken care of, I was like, oh no, Belinda, you can ask Tony. I texted to him. I said, Belinda, you are going to die.
he was ready to keep people quiet. You know what I'm saying?
Especially in that scene.
Very permanent
Sorry.
naps.
Yeah. One with not so comfortable shoe.
Oh man. But
Especially in that scene where they were at the dinner party that he created, and he's like, "Can I talk to you just for a second, alone?" And she's like, "No, my son." And he's like, "I would really prefer it to be alone."
yep, I
And
thought
it's
we
like, you
were
just kept
talking.
pushing.
Yeah, I thought we were talking privately. It's like, nope, we're a team. It's just like, yep, good shit. But
Good on you, Belinda, for that.
Oh man, good on you, Zion, for standing your ground. But yeah, Gary was on some shit. Like the cuck thing, that's your business. You like NTR, that's cool. Good for you. They have fire art. Enjoy. But like, Gary, my G, like, what the fuck?
Your parents?
You're get. I don't need to hear this origin story for your NTR fetish. And also, like, that origin story just makes it sound even worse. Cause it's like, it's like a halfway. It's like a. I don't want to say it's entirely an Oedipal complex, but it's like a half Oedipal complex. If that makes sense.
I get what you mean. And she didn't need to lay out all of his shit there. She could have just said he likes to watch.
He just likes to watch. That's all you had to say. You gave a whole ass backstory that I did not need to hear. You could have just been like, he's into watching. Can you let him watch? And I would have been like, okay, 1, ew. 2, no, I'm good.
Also for the fact that he likes to watch, but also wants to sometimes take your place.
I mean, I think that's common within that culture, right?
Oh, I didn't know.
Like, from what I understand...
I don't know.
Again, I don't participate, just to clarify, but I went to school to be a sex therapist, so, you know, you tend to study a lot of the different, like, fetishes and shit, and it's pretty common within those circles because it's like a lot of it is like a lot of it's built off of like kind of like humiliation and inadequacy type shit, and they want to feel what the other person has done, kind of thing.
I can do better.
No, that I can't. No, that I can't do better.
Why would they then want to step in?
Because they're into the humiliation. Like oh man, they fucked my partner so good. This validates my whole inferiority complex. I am no good. Some people get turned on by humiliation.
Yeah, I can see that. But
yeah, it's a whole thing.
But yeah,
thank you for attending my TED Talk. This has been Sexual Kinks with
their story was
your boy Jay.
interesting, but yet again, horrible people having no consequences.
Although I will say, good on you, Gary. Jennifer Coolidge is hot, but like I think Chloe was an upgrade.
Oh yeah. Well, also he said that he not admitted it that he only married Jennifer Coolidge for the money.
Yeah, fair.
That they never actually got together.
Yeah, also because he didn't want to share his weird fetish, which, you know what, understandable.
Yep.
I'm honestly shocked. Like, good on Chloe. I have to give Chloe some credit. Because good on Chloe for not immediately just being like, oh, you weirdo, get away from me. Because she genuinely does what a lot of people should do in these types of relationships, where you actually should actively hear your partner out, communicate, and be like, all right, if I want this relationship to work, let me see if this is good for us. And apparently, it looks like they're alright. So, good for you, I guess.
So, last but certainly not least, let's talk about the staff. Mainly, Guy Talk and Mook.
I loved them.
I gotta say this, you Fabian, you weak-willed bastard.
Fabian was a little bitch the entire time. Fabian is the worst. I was sitting there looking at Fabian like, do you not hear this lady? This man killed his wife. Yes, call the police, Fabian.
Which also I did find that kind of
how is it hard to follow? That was pretty simple, buddy.
No, I think he followed it and that he got it, but he just didn't care.
Yeah, he didn't care.
Which makes it even worse.
No, okay, so try to dig into this man's psyche, right? He's thinking, oh fuck, this will look bad on the hotel. I don't want it to look bad on the hotel.
And the Hollanders are a super rich client. I mean, they don't stay at the hotel, but they often come here to do activities and shit. Yeah, we can't do that. We don't want to fuck up our high-profile clientele. No, I get it, but yeah, Fabian sucks. Fabian's the worst.
Yeah, and also, he tried Brown-Nose, the owner of this branch of the White Lotus. Yeah. So fucking hot.
Oh, yeah.
Like, dude, I know you want to get in good with your boss, but fuck, man.
Yeah, dude.
He is definitely the worst of the three managers.
He's the worst co-worker you could possibly have. Like, just that fucking kiss-ass, whiny bitch who doesn't actually care about the job, but he cares about, like, moving up and, like, flexing your rank on people.
Yeah, it's cringe. Yeah. So cringe.
Fuck Fabian, dog.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, my real
Exactly.
Indeed. But yeah, Guy Talk and Mook.
Adorable. Adorable. Also, the only real happy ending we got here, besides, I guess, Loxton living, question mark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like,
But I also like that even though they did get a happy ending and they were cute together, that they weren't like lawful good, picture perfect.
But they also weren't
Characters.
problematic.
Well,
like,
Mook
look like this.
kind of like
She was about to
kept
lie.
pushing him.
She was a little. She was definitely a little insistent. She was kind of. She was about the life, but that was more so. I take that more so, and I take that more so to Asian culture because like the thing about Asian culture, especially East Asian culture, it's very cutthroat, like in terms of like workplace shit. So like her encouraging success for her partner makes a lot of sense. I mean, this is gonna sound like a weird thing, but follow me, I promise it'll make sense. If you ever watched a show that we covered on the podcast extensively, but we never actually like covered the final seasons of, Gretzko, it'll give you a very good idea of the type of like kind of work environment, especially in very corporate situations, like with the White Lotus, which is a massive corporation.
I grew up in Japan. I know about this shit.
I'm gonna give what I'm saying is I give Mook a pass for that. Like
well, I'm just saying that I liked the fact that they did that and that she wasn't just like a Disney princess, picture perfect.
Yeah.
Also, I'm glad Mook got his moment where he got to fucking be the hero.
Guy talk.
No, guy.
Yeah, guy talk. I always just called him. I always just called him security, bro.
Yeah, he fucked up. Honestly, did. Like he kind of failed at his job.
Although it took his boss constantly just yelling at him over and over again, shoot him, kill him.
But also, to be fair,
it was a high pressure situation.
He get punched.
Yeah, it was a high pressure situation. I would have froze up if I was him.
At the beginning, he got punched. What was he supposed to do?
Yep.
No,
he didn't. He didn't just get punched. He got hit with the butt of a gun.
Yeah. He got knocked the fuck. What was he supposed to do?
What I'm saying here is, like, he was distracted by Valentine when he was trying to do his job, right?
Yep.
So I'm giving a wide berth, but from just the context of everyone else seeing the situation...
Yeah. He failed at his job at first, yeah.
Bitch-ass Fabian.
Which, when you find out that Fabian was in on it...
Yep.
Which
you
also,
wanted
to be fair with the show... and giving the show credit, they never actually come out and said that Fabian was in on it.
Yeah, it's just heavily
implied.
We just
came to the same conclusion that he did.
Like, again, to give the show credit, it's very well interwoven. Like, these...
Yeah.
Like, it came together very well at the end, but God, it took forever to come together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, listen, I don't mind slow burn stories. In fact, I like a few stories.
I love slow burn stories, because slow burn stories... give the best payoff. It's like edging, but with narrative.
Yeah.
Well, also, I love it when a show can do a what is it called? Like a box episode? Is that what it's called?
Bottle episode. Bottle episode. Where it's just one room, characters talking.
Yeah, because that's when you sometimes get the best acting.
Community had a lot of the best bottle episodes. Period.
Okay, I think I would be more invested in a show like this, and it's been proven before, but too much is too much. If there's, like, a big, like, wide berth of in-between story moments, I'm gonna lose fucking interest.
I'm telling you, if you want to watch a show about shitty rich white people on HBO, watch Succession. That's good shit. These people are all terrible, but God, you love to see them take each other down.
And for them to just get their comeuppance at funny circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
But, and also, great mystery. And here's another thing that kind of annoys me. Like, this more so has to do with, like, the show overall than anything else.
It kind of loses the plot with the mystery. I felt that, too. Because I honestly forgot about it until they brought it back up.
Well, I can tell you that when it came to the murder in previous seasons, it was like a footnote. Like, in season one, we see the body getting put onto the airplane, and then we cut away 2 weeks earlier, and they don't ever really address them until it actually happens.
Mm-hmm.
And with
Same with season 2.
But they really made like the murder mystery very prevalent in
Yeah.
like the opening, and I'm like,
I
oh,
was just saying
okay.
that was your big hook, and then we just kind of like leave it.
And
But
they also
also-
end the dead body in the water, and I'm like, okay, what's gonna make me care?
Yeah, right.
And then also, I feel like they went completely in the opposite direction as well at the same time with having that voiceover by the monk talking about what it means to murder somebody, and I'm like,
Yeah, that was
You're-
on two on
Yeah,
those.
that was a bit much. That
Yeah.
was extra. That was extra.
yeah.
But yeah, okay. So I think that's all we really have to say. We got all our shit. To
Yeah.
borrow a phrase from the show, we got the monkey off our back, so to speak.
All right, so final thoughts and rating.
All right.
Okay, so actually, we usually do this way, so let's continue it. Jay, give your
Okay.
final thoughts and rating.
7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Like, it's a very beautiful show. It's a very well made show. Very well acted, well shot. Like, all the technical aspects, top notch. But as I said before, this again, like we said, it's a slow burn. But also, you gotta take this into consideration. This is a 8-episode limited series, and it took you 6 episodes for me to actually give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
You failed. You failed. You should have at least took me by the halfway point.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's why I was texting Brian, like, when I was watching episode 4, I was like, I don't know, Brian, I'm not feeling this. But then we got to episode 6, my tone changed, I was like, okay, they're kind of cooked here. Oh, I'm here for this. And then the ending landed pretty well. I was satisfied, but at the same time, was I really? Because I think, personally, I gaslit myself into, like, enjoying the finale more because I wanted to feel like I didn't waste my time. And
Well, also, the finale really focused on the best characters.
Yeah, it focused on the best characters. It really amped up the mystery. It did what I wanted the show to do the entire time in one episode. And I was like,
So
see,
I don't
you were
think
capable. You were capable of doing this. So why didn't you do this the whole time? That's my thing. right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
my
think you gaslit yourself. I just think that you were right the first time, that it was good at the end, but the fact that it took to the end to get good.
Like, and,
Yeah,
and,
it was like-
and that's the thing. I'm not your average TV fan. I will stick with a show just to finish it. Your regular TV watcher, I don't know if people could actually get through this shit.
Well, apparently the reviews are great, and people loved it.
But
to each their own, I
Two
guess.
of the, yeah. I think because Jerry and I talked about this before, I think it's best to follow your instincts when it comes to things.
Yeah.
And when your guide is telling you maybe this should have like ended here, or this should have been more focused on in your story, and your gut is usually right on that front.
And we're amateur writers, so like we've never written anything that's actually been published or established. But like but that's something I tell Tony all the time is his editor and co-writer on our projects and shit is like, don't overthink it. And I feel like this show kind of fell victim to overthinking.
Absolutely, I think so too. I mean, I might have a different opinion on the different storylines from the previous seasons if they're tighter scripts, but if they're similar to a script like this, I don't know.
Well, see, here's the thing, Tony, is we were talking about this when we were trying to figure out like how long the show is. Season 1 is 6 episodes. Season 2 is 7.
Okay. And they just went up an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think and this will kind of dovetail into my like final thoughts and ratings.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, one last thing before you go, and maybe this will help add to your stuff, is the other thing that I feel like was a big issue with the pacing was the length of the episode, because it felt like nothing happens for so long. There were huge sections of episodes where I was mostly staring at my phone.
Yeah, every episode was like an hour, and it didn't need to be.
The only episode that was perfectly paced and like everything happened as I like wanted it and I was like completely locked in was the finale.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think if this particular season was trimmed down a bit more, got rid of most of the fillery fat, and
I really,
nixed a few
I
characters.
really don't think we needed the white bitch trio. Like you could cut them entirely. Like I get why they were kind of necessary because they were tangentially connected to Valentine, and Valentine's connected to Mook's boyfriend, security bro.
Yeah.
But like
And
you don't really need it for Guy Talk's story. You could just have Valentine be Guy Talk's friend that he sees in the background a couple times.
And I'm going with my gut on this.
Yeah,
and I know
go.
we talked before, Jay, about, because we talked about where were ratings at as we were watching it.
Yeah.
And you told me, because didn't you say you were giving it a 7 initially?
No, I said I was going to give it a 6, but if it stuck the landing, it'll raise my score up a point, which is why I gave it a 7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think for my overall gripes and nitpick, I have to give it a 6.5.
Understandable.
Not to say
That's fair.
Not to say that everything wasn't beautifully shot. It was. The cinematography in this show is immaculate.
Oh yeah,
Especially
I just want to reiterate, like everything in the technical aspect, god tier.
Which is kind of sad a little bit because the music is going to change for next season.
Personally, for me, there are some musical beats that I just didn't like, and that kind of took me out of the experience. You know what I mean?
No, but I hear you, and I understand what you're saying. I didn't feel that way myself, but yeah. Well, the guy handling the music, he left after this season.
Okay.
Because one of the things that White Lotus was known for before this season was that its intros would have like an air of spookiness to it, and the music would be a little bit spooky, to like help with the atmosphere. But and so he wanted to keep that going for season 3, and the creator said no, and they fought about it to where the music guy was like, all right, fine, but I'm not coming back for season 4.
Respect.
And you know what? Yeah, fair. But yeah, it's a 6.5. It's just, it was more the characters that drove the score down, and if it had a much tighter script, I think I would have enjoyed it more, personally for me.
Oh yeah, I totally get that.
I totally get that too, and honestly, for me, I have been going up around thinking about a number for this. This one was difficult to come up with a number for it. But I did like most of it. Like you said, I wish it had been tighter written, and then also I wish the characters were more likable.
No, I wouldn't even put likable as the word. I would just say more interesting. Because like I said, you can have unlikable characters, but make them interesting.
You gotta make them compelling characters.
Exactly.
Like, give me at least like an aspect of this character.
Like for example,
I don't want to.
Well,
like going back to an HBO show again, and not to talk about Succession, but like we talked about like House of the Dragon and stuff. Game of Thrones, one of the most iconic examples of an unlikable character that you are addicted to watching. Joffrey Baratheon.
Oh,
exactly.
God, yes.
To the point where the poor kid is not acting anymore.
Yeah, right. Because
no, he's back.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Good for him.
He just took like a decade.
He took a decade to actually teach acting at several universities, and then he's recently come back to acting.
But he's like the Harry Potter cast.
Tommen's actor was in that shitty Star Wars Acolyte. Tommen's actor was in that. He had a beard. It was weird.
Wow. But Joffrey's actor is like acting like the cast of like Harry Potter, where being very selective about what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's fair. That's very fair.
And Jack Gleason was a great actor. I mean, like
yeah.
That's the thing people don't understand. That's the thing people don't understand. You have to be a really good actor to be able to pull off like some of these like detestable people. Lena Headey, my goodness, tour de force.
Oh yeah. But anyway, back to White Lotus though. Yeah, you're right. Just more compelling.
Exactly.
Is the right word to say it. Which sucks because all of the cast,
the actors are capable of it. That's the thing See, and that's the thing that is about this show. It's not bad. It's just severely disappointing because you see it has all the tools, but it's not using it.
Yet again, in this season of Channel Chasers, I feel like we gotta pull out the whole parent.
No, that's exactly how I feel. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. Because like I said earlier, the finale, if the entire show was like the finale, this would have been like a 8, 9 out of 10 type show.
Even if it was like episode 6 and beyond, it would have been better.
Aside from the jerking off your brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, aside from that.
But anyway, so in the end, I think for me personally, I am going to agree with Jay. I am going to give it a flat 7.
Okay. Man.
Okay.
If we do eventually get monetization, this episode will never get monetized with all the shit that was spoken about here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Indeed. But apparently White Lotus is being like that for everybody.
Sorry, future
like
us.
one of the reactors that I follow is doing one for Black Lotus for White Lotus season 3, and in the thumbnail she has written incest ?
Oh no. Oh no. But yeah.
But
all right.
Anyway, so as my last thing to do as temporary captain, I am going to throw it to myself.
Actually, Brian, let me take your job since
All right.
Yeah.
So instead of throwing it to myself,
we'll do this little reversal here.
I'll throw it to our main captain.
All right.
Jay, what are we covering next time?
All right, folks. Well, we're going from covering people that we hated and we thought we labeled personally as villains to actually a group of villains serving as heroes.
No, wait, hold on a minute though.
What are you talking about?
Aren't we covering Thunderbolts next week?
No.
Oh, we're doing Pokemon. Okay, I flipped it. Hey, no, keep that shit in. It's funny. Keep that shit in. Don't delete it, Tony. All right, my bad. My bad.
That's a teaser for something in the future.
I had time distorted. I was so focused on unlikable characters. I was like, yeah, villains. This makes sense for a segue. But I guess to change the segue, we're going from characters we absolutely hated to characters we absolutely loved. We are returning to the wonderful world of Pokemon and covering the second part of Pokemon Horizons Season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were there for our previous episode, Tony and I gave that shit like a 9.5, and Brian gave it a 9. So hopefully they can keep up that bar of quality.
And
spoiler alert, because Tony and I have already seen the episodes via Japan. They do.
Yep. And you did call it right, Jay. The ratings were 2 9.5s and 1 9.
Yep. So yeah, look forward to that, Pokemon Masters. We will be back in the wonderful world of Pokemon, and we'll finally be able to get the fuck out of the White Lotus. So it's time for us to check out. Peace.